COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 11:40 a.m.
Streaming audio at sacktownsports.com and the Sacktown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, I hope you had a great holiday weekend. Hope your Mother's Day was great. Look who's back from vacation. Kyle Draper!
Well rested and ready to go, my friend. I've been saving up hot takes for the last 9 or 10 days, so I'm ready here. What, 4 hours today?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be ready.
At least.
All 4 hours, at least, right?
Yeah, you do look rested and you got good energy. You know, sometimes we come back from vacation and that first Monday back, it's hard to get into the right frame of mind, but you're ready. Yeah,
no, I'll be honest with you. Let me keep it real, though. It's been a rough day today, man. I didn't feel like coming in. You know, I had to cut some promo spots here for my fine friends of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. So we got some new ads coming tomorrow. I'm sitting there talking to Angie, and I'm like, I don't feel like being here today. But then I walked in, and I saw you. I saw Simone.
There we go.
My guy Jay.
I'm in the building,
My
baby.
guy Jay is
You were
in the
hanging out with
building.
him, weren't you, in Vegas?
We were chopping it up in Vegas, so now I'm ready to go. I'm in a much better mind frame now that I'm actually around you guys. Like the drive-in, it was terrible. I did not want to cut. It's nice outside. Yeah. I spent the last week and a half golfing every day.
How'd you play? How'd you hit him?
It's all relative, right?
Anytime a person goes,
I'm asking all the wrong questions.
So it was up and down. It was up and down. I shot an 86 a couple of days ago, which is my best. It was my best round ever. So, and this was Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So I ended the trip on a good note. But before that, it was terrible. It was rough.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Golf with my boy Mike Bibby. Down there. And
you got a rivalry or a little
competition
going.
You won.
And I don't want to disrespect Mike on his birthday. Today is his birthday. So shout out Mike Bibby. But he's not fun to golf with. You know, golf is supposed to be relaxing, enjoyable, forget all your troubles. Mike Bibby is the type that will keep your score better than you keep your own score. I'll be like, Mike, I think I got 5. He'll be way across the fairway. No, Drapes, you got 1, 2, 3. Like, it's every hole. And I'm like, and so we got a rivalry going on. And he beat me this last round that we played. He got me. But, you know, he gets under my skin a little bit, man.
Yeah. So it sounds like he's got a little extra birthday spending money courtesy of.
No. I don't bet. I don't bet on my game. I'm smarter than that, Whitey. Because you know, I'll bet on a putt or something like that. You know, a chip closest to the hole. But through 18, my game is too up and down, man. It's too all over the place. You know, so he got me though the other day.
86 is nothing to.
That's pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
Usually I'm a 90s guy. I'm in you know, anywhere from 90 to 95. So anything with an 8 in front of it, I'm happy about.
So you were just hitting your stride when you had.
I really was. And you know, I'm a firm believer in you play better depending on the company you keep. Like an awful playing partner can rub off on you, whether they're moving too fast or moving too slow, talking too much. And so the rounds I played with Mike Bibby, I wasn't at my best. I'm not blaming it on him, but when I didn't play with him on Saturday, I played lights out. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Got to keep going. Don't stop, though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing about golf, like sports, habitually. You have to make it a habit. You can't stop. And even though you have to do the show, you still got to go shoot, like, do a 9-hole. You got to keep going, man.
I was about to say,
Keep
Jay, I got to
working
be in
summer.
here now,
Yeah, but you got time.
I should do what Doug used to do. You know this, Jay. Doug would go to the range every day before coming in to do the show. Drive on down 80, hop off Hagen Oaks right there. He'd go work in, half hour to an hour hitting balls and then come in. I might have to start doing that.
That's one of the differences between people that just want to screw around and people that want to get better. People that just, I just want to hit the ball. There's nothing wrong with that, but they go to the range and I'm having fun. But people like Doug, they go to the range to work on
They
something.
go to work, right? Yeah, instead of just hitting balls. I'm out there just hitting balls. But no, he goes out there with a purpose. So.
86 impressive. Not as impressive as the 82 that we heard about last week from Jay. His 82-year-old grandmother came out. She flew out by herself. Did you have a great Mother's Day weekend with Grandma?
Snap. Yeah, I did, man. And I had a cousin had a 21st birthday, a recital. He's a student at San Francisco Conservatory of Music. Right. So it's serious. Yeah, serious.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But no, he turned 21 yesterday and had a birthday. So recital as well. Grandma's still in town for the next week and a half. She's doing her thing. I told her about our conversation. I need to show her on YouTube, go back and look at the podcast. But she was like, what? Oh, yeah. Then we started talking about, she was like, and they're trying to take my license. She didn't want to give up her driver's license, So yeah, she's doing her thing. But yeah, fantastic. How about yourself? You got to go see the grandson.
Yeah.
Oh,
very nice. Yeah.
K and Co.
Yes. Little Kenji. He's gonna be up here for the next week or so. So if I come in tomorrow a little sleepier than normal, you'll know what.
He's staying with you guys
for a few days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, may bring him in for a couple segments.
Right. Exactly.
We'll see.
Some better takes than some of our callers. So yeah, why not? Why not?
Drapes, no lottery luck for your Kings. I mean, we figured, right?
Right. And this is the one year that, you know what? You really don't want the number one pick, because it doesn't have as much value. You can get a similar quality player at 8, 9, 10, and hopefully 13. And so I wasn't too heartbroken on
That's
this
what
one.
your buddy Jay said Friday.
Right.
He said, there's no consensus number one. That means the Kings will probably get the first pick.
Oh, right. Knowing the Kings' luck. But what they say about Atlanta, this is the first time they've won the lottery. And it's in this year. Of course, it's this year. And, if I'm Sacramento, I'm okay with the 13th spot. It's not like there's a Wembanyama up there or somebody like that, a deep draft or anything. I think this is an average draft, a C+ draft. So whether you draft 1 or 10 or 20, you have just as good of a chance of getting a quality player, I think.
Yeah, I think the Kings, if they use the pick, there's a really, really good chance they can get a player that can help them.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what to expect. Are they going to pick somebody, or are they looking to package this? And it's possible they don't even know yet. But, I mean, everything's on the board, right? They could trade this pick.
I would say this, Whitey, and I'm going to just go on record. I'm not going to backtrack. This is going to be my take.
All right.
They need to trade this pick.
Really?
I do not want this pick to be made, because if this pick is made, that means whether it's Jeremy Grant, Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, whoever it may be, that means those talks fell through. That means we're going to be stuck with a young talent who may develop into something, but it's a crapshoot. I think we're at the point now where the Kings need to get better, not through the draft, but through free agency and trades. And a lot of times you hear teams say, well, because of their cap situation, they need to have some young players on the team. And that may be true, even for the Kings, because of their cap situation. But the Kings aren't good enough to rely on young players. Like, whoever the Kings draft, are they really going to help you right now win a championship? Maybe your 7th guy, maybe your 8th guy. We still need high-level talent, upper-tier talent. And so that's why I'm hoping it's part of a package to bring in a Brandon Ingram or somebody of that ilk.
I hope they do use the pick. I don't disagree with you.
Really?
I don't disagree with you. I don't think they have the pieces to make that trade, especially when you look at other teams that are talking about making trades. And, Atlanta is maybe going to package Trae Young and the number 1 pick. I don't know how much interest there will be in that. But let's just say the Kings had any interest in that. I don't think they do, but just theoretically, every offer they would have to make to be competitive would start with Keegan, and they don't want to trade Keegan. So unless it's Zach LaVine, whom the Bulls want to get rid of, I think they're going to have a really hard time landing that guy.
See, now, Whitey, I just came back from vacation.
And LaVine might be
I'm in a good mood.
Uh-huh.
And you bringing me down already.
Why am I
You're
bringing
basically
you down?
telling me we don't have the pieces to go out there and get a Brandon Ingram or somebody
But
of
I
that.
don't know that that's necessarily that bad. So you're assuming you don't get that, you're in trouble. I mean, maybe.
That's how I feel.
Yeah,
Like,
I understand.
But you think we do have the pieces to get a LaVine or somebody like that?
I think LaVine you could get. Well, the way I'm looking at it, Drapes, if you're going to get one of those guys, it's a big name. There has to be motivation for the team with that guy to trade him. So we know LaVine, they want to trade him, right?
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant, that makes sense that they might want to spin him because, well, by the time he doesn't match their timeline. Ingram, we know New Orleans may trade him, but they're going to want some back. They're not tearing it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my guess is there's other teams that would be more competitive than the Kings when it came to a guy like Ingram. So for all the talk of, wow, they've got all these draft picks. Once they get the Atlanta thing figured out, there's other teams that have a lot more draft picks and I think a lot more spare parts.
So how do we improve this team then? If we're not going to get some of those upper echelon guys because the market is too saturated, there's too much competition, how do we improve this? Is this a slow burn that we're on right here? And maybe we shouldn't expect fireworks this offseason.
I think there could be some upside in drafting somebody that you like. And, obviously they've been scouting these guys for a long time. Maybe they look at it and go, we just don't like any of these guys. But if you do, you get some shooting. You got the mid-level. You also got that biannual, right?
Yeah. You got the biannual exception.
And then maybe you do go in and get if you can get Zach LaVine at a decent price because the Bulls want to move him, maybe you roll the dice on that, and maybe you do a couple of things in addition to that. I just don't see him getting like Ingram or, before you left, we were all having fun with Durant or Beal. Yeah. I just, it was fun to talk about, but I don't see how they could be in on something like that.
Brad Beal might be an option, though.
Really?
From Phoenix. And let me tell you why. Phoenix needs some depth. They're extremely top heavy. They need to balance out their roster. And, when you look at, they have to do something. Maybe they won't. I don't know. But a Harrison Barnes, a Kevin Huerter could help them out tremendously, I think, especially off the bench. Kevin Huerter coming off the bench, Harrison Barnes, a solid veteran. They need more depth pieces, from, they're top heavy. Their top five is, really good. But after that, it goes downhill. And so I think when I look at Phoenix, Devin Booker isn't going anywhere. He is not going to be traded. Kevin Durant, I can't see him moving off him. Brad Beal, even though he has that no trade clause, he would be the most obvious person to move off of. And if I'm Phoenix, I'm not asking for a king's ransom for Bradley Beal because he doesn't have that kind of value. They don't have any draft picks, first of all, so we could give them some picks. They don't have any depth. We can provide that. And so I think a Brad Beal might still be on the table. That's a lot of money. I understand that. But so is Zach LaVine, and so is all the guys we're talking about that are upper level guys that have some warts, that have some issues with them.
Mm-hmm. Does the 13th pick give the Kings a shot at a big name? The conversation continues when we come right back. And Drapes is back today. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh, good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat. Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
What is this on the chat? Thanks for being with us. Manny Too Legit. Mr. Drapes, hope you had a good mini vacation. Mini vacation?
This was a mini vacation.
You've been gone like 2 weeks, haven't you?
I tell you what.
That's a mini vacation?
Manny Too Legit understands my pain. I was thinking the other day, next year I turn 50, Whitey.
Mini vacation.
I'm about to take a 3-week sabbatical next year, man. When I turn 50,
I'm gonna make it a month.
I might make it a month, Jay. I'm thinking about spending a month in Africa next year for my 50th birthday. So I'm just putting it out there right now. I agree with you, Manny Too Legit. It was a mini vacation. And you got to understand, prior to radio, once the Kings season ended, I was off till September, October. So this is, a 2 weeks vacation or whatever we get here. It's been rough.
Foreign territory.
Who was the one that put the gun to your head and forced you to sign the radio deal?
I was looking out for you and Jay's career. You know, I wanted to help your careers out. So I was like, I know.
Mini vacation. Jay, that's like 2 days, right? And you wrap it into a weekend. That's like a mini vacation. A week is a legitimate vacation these days. I'm not saying
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay.
I'm not saying it.
See, that's the problem with America right now.
I'm about to say, I'm not in the corporate world there. Why you asking the wrong person?
A month is great. I'm not saying anything wrong with it, but I'm just saying a week. If a week is a mini vacation,
and
a radio show, that could be an issue.
I said, well, that's true for what we do. Absolutely,
right.
It's definitely difficult to replace so many different parts to the well-oiled machine. But I'll say this: how many times do you go on vacation and then you get back and you're like, man, I didn't even get a chance to sit down.
Every time,
right? I need another vacation from my vacation. So a week isn't long enough. When you get a couple weeks. Most of the time, people step away for a week. Then you get to come back, get acclimated to home.
Ease your way back in, right?
Absolutely. Play a little golf like Drapes wants to.
Right.
He can't even get his tea time right no more.
Yeah, I know. I got back yesterday, and now I got to work today. It's like, dang.
You talked me into it.
2 weeks. That's what I'm saying.
2 weeks is a vacation.
We need more like
Otherwise, you're just getting used to the new situation when it's time to go back.
Now that we're on this, and we're going to talk sports here in a minute. But this whole notion, and not just here, but just in corporate world, 2 weeks vacation you get when you first start at a job. That's not enough. 2 weeks is nothing.
No, I know. I remember I was at Disneyland one time. This is a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was Space Mountain. So me and my daughters were standing in line forever. So you start talking to the people next to you. And they're from Germany. We're on vacation. Oh, what do you got, a week? We're on vacation for 3 months. We go to San Diego. We come Disneyland. It's like, oh my goodness.
We get 2 weeks in America. Like, that's the standard. And then you got to earn more time.
Yeah.
2 weeks is nothing. That can go just like that. And so, so I'm having a hard time adjusting back,
Wait, you just said 2 weeks is nothing now?
No, I'm talking for the whole year.
Right,
just for the whole year. Like 2 weeks, I could burn through that. Like right now, like I'm ready for another week right now. 2 weeks. That's terrible.
It does sneak up on you, huh? The end of it.
Yeah.
You sit there. It's like, here it is. It's Wednesday. Ooh, tomorrow's Thursday.
And then Wednesday, you're already thinking about it, right?
That weekend comes around,
Yeah.
Especially when you have holidays and anything, things sprinkled in between as well.
So do you like to get back from your vacation, say on maybe Saturday to give you a little extra cushion? Or just like, nope, I'll just cut back late Sunday and deal with it?
Well, let me tell you a story. I came back yesterday, flight from Phoenix, landed at 11. It was Mother's Day yesterday. I'm like, all right, let me get back. The wife and the kids, 11 a.m. They drove up to Tahoe for the day. I'm like, damn, I could have stayed till like 4 or 5. I could have like landed at midnight and been good. And so I'm the type, I like to stretch it out as long as possible. Yeah, that's how I am.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
All right. We've been talking about the Kings with the 13th pick now. How are the Kings going to land that big fish. Is that still, in a perfect world, your wish list, Drapes? Is Bradley Beal the guy at the top of your list? And don't even worry about how they'd get him. Last week we were talking about our wish lists. Who's your guy that you'd like to get? Don't worry about how you'd get him. Would he be your guy at the top of the list?
I think, and let's forget the money. Like, I'm talking from a player. Zach LaVine is at the top of my list.
Really? Okay.
I love Zach LaVine as a player. I think he has the stones to compete on a high level. I think fourth quarter, he's a guy that could take over. I think he has more upside. He's injured, though. Both guys have an injury history, but I think Zach LaVine would be a great fit for us.
Yeah. You can imagine how difficult it was filling your seat last week. We had a couple days. We had all-star lineups. Monday, Jerry Reynolds came in and did the whole show. Jerry Reynolds has always been kind of, Zach LaVine to the Kings, but he said, the problems they're having offensively, he said, I might do that.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
See? I know what I'm talking about.
I know that.
I'm just saying, man, you got the legend Jerry Reynolds coming around to my side.
That surprised me because he had been kind of no, but now he says, look, that offense was really struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't see how we improve without making a big move, swinging for a big fish, unless you're telling me Keegan is going to take that leap in year 3. If he's going to take that leap in year 3, then I may not need a LaVine or a Brad Beal or somebody like that.
What if you had to trade Keegan to get that guy?
Ooh.
And I know it depends on who it is, but in general, see, that to me is a type of situation they're in here.
Yeah, that's tough because I look at the age situation. I look at the injury history. I look at Keegan's ability to play defense. I'm not in the market for trading Keegan Murray right now, but we've talked about this at length at times about how this year is critical for Keegan because, in today's NBA, the young guys are running things. You look at Anthony Edwards. You look at, Tatum, who's 25, 26. You look at some of these star players out there, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Back in the day, guys that were winning championships were 28, 29. Nowadays, you got 23, 24, 25-year-olds leading their teams.
Oh, yeah.
And so Keegan has to make that leap because his value is probably at an all-time high right now. When does his value become, it crests and it starts going downhill? Does he just become a nice 17-point-per-game scorer or like a Michael Porter Jr.? Or does he become a Brandon Ingram, a guy you could build around, somebody like that? And so I think this is a huge offseason and season for him. I'd be reluctant to move off Keegan Murray right now.
Yeah, and to your point about how young everything is, that as we look at potential draft picks, if you're a draft pick now and you're like 21, 22, people go, oh.
Yeah, yeah. What's wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
No, you're right. And that's the thing. And let's remember, Keegan was an older draft pick. It's not like he's 21 years old or anything like that. He's about to be 23, 24, something like that. And so I think this kid, this is a big offseason for him. And this is why if you're Monte McNair and Wes Wilcox, no matter what you do, and I think we all agree with this offseason, you have to get it right. Like whether, all right, you keeping the trade, keeping the pick, drafting number 13, all right, get the correct guy. And we'll dive into some names coming up in a little bit, I'm sure. You trade the pick, okay, get somebody that can help you. Like you have to, I think when you're Monte McNair, the one thing you can't do is just sit on your hands and not do anything. You got to add somebody. Is it a Brogdon? Is it somebody of that ilk? Is it a Thibault? Somebody, because you added Chris Duarte last year. He didn't pan out the way you wanted. You got to have somebody that you can count on in the rotation. They need to deepen their rotation, I think.
Yeah, it's absolutely a crucial offseason. We said that last year, but you can sense now that things are it could go either way. We don't want to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Last year, the Kings, we thought they had momentum, decided to stand pat, and now it's which way is this going to go? But don't you think, I think that it's going to be difficult for them to decide what to do next until they know what Malik's situation is? And maybe they have some indication. I don't know, but that changes a lot as far as, what do I need? Do I have Malik back or not?
Well, and the problem with that, and you're right, Whitey, the timeline doesn't fit that because the draft is before free agency.
I know.
Now, if the draft was after free agency, then you can make some trades. Then you say, all right, we don't have Malik. We know what we need and all this. And once free agency hits, things are going to happen quickly. You might not know with Malik until it's too late.
Yeah.
Think about that. And then that draft pick, that number 13 draft pick, I think if you're going to trade it, you do it theoretically before the draft, meaning you know what that player, that team wants, and you select that player for that team. If you select a player, and that limits the trades you can make, I think, going forward, because teams might not be interested in that player.
Did you see this picture last week?
I did see that picture last week. Yeah.
Golf picture.
Yes.
We spent 3 whole shows on it.
I know. Trying to read into what does it mean?
Yeah. So I don't know if Jay's with me, but I decided, oh yeah, he's Stan. Was that your interpretation?
What, that right there? No.
Look at that. He got his arm around Vivek. Keegan's actually smiling. It's like, who's that guy? He's smiling.
I know.
Oh, it's Keegan.
Look at Mike Brown smiling over there on the left. It looks like a harmonious family right there.
Yeah.
Except when somebody offers $25 million a year, sayonara, everybody. It's a good sign that Malik is still around. He's still part of everything. But ultimately, it's going to come down to dollars and cents. And so I remember, this was when the Celtics were recruiting Kevin Durant. I brought this up a couple of times. They all went down to Martha's Vineyard to meet with Kevin Durant. They had Tom Brady out there. They had Kelly Olynyk. They had the whole contingent. And there's pictures out there and everything. Ultimately, Kevin Durant went elsewhere, went to Golden State. And so I'm not reading too much into that.
Can I read way too much into it here?
Please do.
Notice this. Here you got Vivek, and I apologize to those of you who are listening. Well, even if you're watching, you can't really see, but you have Vivek here. Who is right next to Vivek? You got Malik, and then you got, the former coach, Alvin Gentry. The current coach, who is waiting for a new contract, he's all the way over here by himself.
Oh, you're reading into that too?
Nowhere near Vivek. Nowhere near the owner.
So you're saying Mike is that guy on the outside trying to squeeze in, like, hey, don't forget about me, guys, in this picture.
This golf here is like $5 or $6 million worth of a golf between Vivek and Mike Brown right there.
Are you really reading into it? Oh, my gosh, man.
I'm kidding.
And let me see who else is that Wes Wilcox way on the outside right there?
Yeah.
Man, a picture's worth 1,000 words, right? It's all about it. Now, if Mike Brown and Vivek would have been next to each other,
then
signed, sealed, and delivered. But he's on the outside.
I don't know.
A little frosty there, maybe.
The Knicks are toast as anybody else when we come right back.
Plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey. He walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey. Takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof. Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
We see a lot of news about teens vaping, but teens see something else. Videos on social media that glamorize it and downplay the dangers of nicotine. How can parents talk so kids will listen? Use facts. 1. Nicotine can rewire teens' brains. 2. It can make teens more anxious. 3. Changes to the brain can be permanent. So even when it hides behind a new look, nicotine is brain poison. Go to undo.org for more.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Meta Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT 5.3 liter in stock after rebates. Always 5 to choose from.
Exclusive. All in-stock pricing at MetaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. N6324.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com. The
Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
You got Jay, you got Whitey, and Drapes is back from his micro vacation. Just what were you gone a week? Was it more than a week, wasn't it? Weren't you gone the Friday before?
The Friday before, yes.
Yeah.
But I was still in town. But, yeah, hey, teachers get off all summer. We can't get more than a week. We can't get a couple weeks. I mean, that's a mini vacation, you know? I'm looking at all my NBA friends off for the off season and everything. And I'm like, man, a week is not enough. And let me tell you why. A week is just enough to get you wanting more. Then you got to come back.
Yeah.
And it's like, dang, I got to book another vacation. Mm-hmm. So my mind is already looking forward to the next one.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it. We had the lottery yesterday. If the Kings use that pick, do you have anybody in mind? And it's okay if you don't, because we're all getting, acclimated to who was out there now and who's these guys down there at the 13th pick. Do you have anybody yet? A guy, it's like, that's my guy if they use the pick.
Nah, I don't have a guy.
All right.
Just I know you do. You're
I got a couple.
You got a couple.
A guy.
You don't have a guy yet?
No.
I don't know. It's there's so many different ways they can go. Shooting, and we've talked about this, seems to be no matter what. That's something you can always use, no matter what team you have. And so I'm looking at. There's a guy, Johnny Furphy. He's probably going to be a little later in the first round, but apparently he put on a show today at the shooting clinic out there in Chicago.
So did Zach Edey.
Did he really? Zach Edey put on a show?
A shooting show.
What?
Yes.
Were you leaning?
Yeah, three-point shot. Yeah, he shot the ball well.
Who do you like?
Looks like you putting some pressure on those legs there. Is that where you're leaning? Zach Edey?
No, I'm not, but I know you told me last week.
Jay said Zach Edey?
I'd take him.
Yeah.
I'd take a flyer on him. I don't know at the 13th pick, but
yeah,
I'd take a flyer on him.
And again, Jerry said the same thing. It's like, hey, you don't get a shot at guys that big very often at 13. I like McCain, who's a Sacramento guy.
Yep.
And I like Deron Holmes so far. And they both did really well today in that, big deal. They played around the world and they knocked down a few shots.
Right. I know you're high on McCain. Where's he projected to go? I'm looking
around there.
Right around there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
In most cases, maybe the one you're on, maybe they.
The so far, fellas, and we'll definitely dive into this as this moves forward. Will be the home of draft capital, draft central here.
Yeah.
Sac Sports 1140 Drive guys. But as I've looked at maybe 10 different mock drafts, this draft, they're everywhere. Like I've seen McCain at 4 or 5. I've seen him at 20.
Yeah.
And you don't normally see that much with those top flight guys. But this time around, because there's so much of an influx of overseas guys as well, like tons and tons of overseas top flight guys. So I don't think we really know where to play some of these people, these draft prospects right now.
I think that's a really great point based on what I've seen, because as you say, it's easy to say, oh, this guy, he's the 8th best player. He's going to be great. Then you look at someone else's, damn, in the second round. So just keep an open mind about all this stuff. Yeah.
I've seen Zach Edey go in the second round in some of these mock drafts.
Yeah. I'm looking at the Ringer, my guy, Kevin O'Connor, who we all, have our thoughts about, but this is how I got to know him with his draft guide.
That's how he started, right?
Yeah, that's how he started, putting out his draft guide. He has your boy Jarrett McCain as the 9th best prospect, which is interesting because in this site, I obviously, don't treat it as the gospel, but NBA DraftNet.net has Jarrett McCain at 25th to the New York Knicks. It's all over the place, right? It's all over the place. And so I think at this point, if you're the Kings and you do make this pick, you just go with best available player, I think, and worry about the fit and all this. You need somebody that can help you sooner rather than later.
Teams always make that mistake, don't they? Of saying, well, we need this position.
Right.
I go back to the Warriors a couple of years ago when they didn't know what Looney's future was and they had the second pick and you got this big guy, James Wiseman. Well, we need a center.
Yeah. Exactly.
LaMelo's there. Yeah, but we need a center.
Right.
And it was a mistake. And I agree, especially when you're picking 13th in a draft with this many uncertainties, it would be really risky to go, well, we need a forward. Although I think they do. I don't think you can approach the draft that way.
No, you just got to get a talent, whether it's, if Zach Edey's there, do you take him?
I wouldn't, but I know a lot of people would. I think Jay would. No?
Nah, I wouldn't take him. It depends also who's on the board. Like, I think so far, my guy is Cody Williams. I'm leaning towards Cody.
I like him too.
Colorado.
Yep.
6'8", Jalen Williams' brother, right? Is he Jalen Williams' brother?
Oh, that's his brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's probably my guy. I don't know, though. It depends on how Edey gets up and down the floor. I need to see the athleticism, the speed. I know he's not, the fastest person, but can he run with De'Aaron? Like, that's tough part. Can you run with Keon? Can you run with Malik Monk? You need those big guys that can run that way. PJ Washington, Gafford, guys like that. I'm not sure Edey can do that. So I would want to see that first.
What I will say about Edey is he would give you something you just don't have, which is a real low post presence, and we've talked at times about trying to diversify the offense a little bit. Zach Edey would be a change of pace kind of guy, a guy you could throw it into. And, hopefully, I don't know what his passing situation is. Is he a good passer or not? But I would like to see him, whatever team he goes to. I think when you look at the NBA, fellas, and I understand we want bigs that can shoot and everything like that. But I think you're going to start to see the return of the post player, the return of the guy you run your offense through being a center. And I'm not necessarily talking about a Domas on the outside or even a Jokic. I'm talking about a guy you could throw it in, draws a double, the kick out. You surround a guy like Zach Edey with 4 shooters out there, it's going to be hard to stop. And so I do think there's a place for him in the NBA. You guys might be right. Maybe not with De'Aaron because you want to play up tempo, but he would be a good change of pace big man, I think.
The big question about him in the NBA, as you know, is just defensively.
On the other end, how does he guard?
Yeah.
The perimeter, can he move
well enough to defend? Right. By the way, Jay, I was with you all the way on Williams, and then I read this. Doesn't mean this is necessarily gospel, but from our friend John Hollinger. points out
that's not gospel.
Yeah, right.
right. That's not a good book.
I think this will give you second thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong. Writing about our guy, Cody Williams. How does a 6'8" guy only have a 6.4% rebound rate? The poor rebound rate underscores a larger issue that hurt Williams' draft stock. He shrinks away from any kind of physicality or contact.
That's not what we need, Jay.
He was like, this is my guy. Then I read that. I was like,
yeah, but that's John Hollinger.
I know. You're right. You're right. It's like we just said.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. How many times have we read about Kevin Durant? Couldn't even put up 225 one time.
Yeah.
One of the greatest to ever do it, right? And I'm not saying Cody Williams is Kevin Durant, but I'm also saying he's 6'8", wingspan. He's got talent. You see his brother.
Yeah.
You know, he's a high caliber shot maker, great finisher. If you have tools in the box, I can throw a screwdriver in there for you. You know, I can throw a crescent wrench in there for you. I just need some things to work with beyond shooting. And I know shooting is at a premium in the NBA, hence why we continue to see, you know, third, fifth, even look at Vince Carter, friend of the show. Vince Carter continued on in this journey because he could shoot. You know, he developed a 3-point shot later in his career. So I just give me the most talented, and that's kind of what Drapes is saying. Give me the most talented player there, and hopefully we can build with, you know, add some tools to your toolbox.
But as you were saying, the views on these guys are so all over the place. It's hard to find a consensus. And Hollinger has our guy Williams tier 4, like talented, but I have some questions.
Tier 4.
Yeah.
Who's tier 1? Let's get into that. I want to hear who he has at tier 1.
Tier 1, that's a great question. Let me see.
Because the one thing Cody does do is play defense as well.
Okay.
You know, so if you give me, 15, 13 a game and Keegan takes the necessary step, well, now we cooking.
This is just John Hollinger, tier 1, best bets in bad class. So he's already like, this isn't that great. He's got Ron Holland, Stephon Castle, Donovan Clingan, and Reed Shepard. That's all his only tier 1 guys.
Okay.
Tier 2, he's got Alex Sarr, who I believe, if there's a consensus, number one, he's the closest to it. Nikola Topic, who's like a 6'7" point guard, although he's shrinking because I've seen him listed as 6'7", and then in that same story, he's 6'6". So it's like, whoa. The Lithuanian Matas Buzelis, Rob Dillingham, and then tier 3 is no frills college vets, Filipowski, Devin Carter, who's another guy who's like, some reports of him say he can do everything. And then the tier 4 is, as we say, and your guy, Johnny Furphy, is in, according to Hollinger, in tier 4.
Okay.
So nobody knows.
Right. Everywhere, right?
Yeah. It's and that's the thing, man. This is the one draft, that I can remember where, there's not one blue chipper where you're saying that guy's going to be an all-star. Sarr might be, you don't know. Dillingham might be. It's a crapshoot this year, more so than any.
I think there's some good players in there.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just who,
right?
know.
It's just who, right?
And they're so young now, and they're not developed. How are you?
Yeah.
And you're expected to project what this guy is going to become.
Yeah.
Like I know you scouted Bronny.
Bronny,
in the draft.
Yes.
Who knows?
Who knows?
He hasn't played enough for him to even know what he is.
No, you're right. Especially like you said, these guys are so young. 1 year of college. For Bronny, not even a full year. And so you just don't know how these guys are going to develop. And also you don't know the intangibles that these guys have. If I'm the Kings, I'm looking for a guy that, has the work ethic, the motor, the moxie, if you will.
Yeah.
That comes in and, if I'm the Kings, I'm looking for a guy that's not going to try to fit in. And let me explain this really quickly. I need a guy that's going to come out here and act like he's a bucket getter. I need a guy not that's just going to be timid, not going to be, I'll take whatever you give me, coach. No, we need some swagger on this Kings team. We ain't got no swag, man. We don't walk into a building and talk trash. I need somebody that's loud, that's going to get up in your face, that's going to, show some emotion. And so I think that's what this Kings team needs right now, man. We need a burst of energy, of emotion right now.
Might have your guy. When we come back. Also, we'll tell you about the former King who just set a dubious playoff record for his team when we come back. to Sacktown Sports. It's the Draft Guys.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA. And the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team. Plus, one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
You've seen the specials on Amazon, Netflix, Showtime, and more. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
Babe, can I go with Steve and have a drink at the casino? And then she started to speak wife. She looked at him right in the face and she goes, you can do whatever you want. And his dumb goes, told you. I go, oh, no, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Steve Trevino, Saturday, June 1st, the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Bradley Gilbert,
Dustin Letts, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, Brian Kelly, Drew Baldridge, Ryan Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthew.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPfest.com. That's CITPfest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Vernick Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub. Sponsored by Xfinity. Enjoy the entertainment you love with the Xfinity Stream app. Turn any screen into a TV and take the entertainment you love wherever you go. Xfinity, we connect you to more of what you love.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Time for a real quick box score breakdown. I know how much you've missed it.
Oh, yeah.
You and I talk a lot about plus minus.
Yes.
And how, you can kind of shape it to your own needs. one game plus minus in one game is really misleading. But that said, a former King set a playoff record for his team yesterday with the lowest plus minus ever in team history in a playoff.
In team history?
Uh-huh.
DiVincenzo?
Yep.
What was he yesterday?
Minus 40.
Wow. That is unheard of. A franchise record.
Yeah, it's the lowest in New York Knicks playoff history.
Minus 40.
Just means when he was on the floor, his team was outscored by 40. Doesn't mean it
Think
was all
about
his
that.
fault.
That's crazy.
But, yeah, I know.
That is a minus 40.
Yeah. And he'd been, he's had some good games this postseason.
Right. He was off yesterday, though. The whole Knicks team was off, man. Give the Pacers some credit. My guy, Tyrese Halliburton, doing big things, helping them win. And so when's that next game? Tomorrow, I think it is. Game 5.
I think the Knicks are done. And I know like everyone
Really?
else, well, just because they don't have any guys. I mean, like everyone else, I said, the Nuggets, they're done. And obviously they're not. But the Knicks just don't have enough guys.
Yeah.
When they were up 2-0, Jay and I were talking. I said, there's no way.
Right, that they can keep this up.
Yeah.
And then they lost OG Anunoby, too,
Yeah.
on top of that.
Yeah.
At that time. And so, no, you're right. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, Julius Randle, OG.
OGs look bad, too.
Yeah. No, you're right. And that's allowed Pascal to get going a little bit. And, when I look at the Eastern Conference, the Celtics might have the easiest path in league history to the NBA Finals. Like, they're playing a bunch of cupcakes. I mean, Miami with no Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier. Now they're taking on Cleveland, solid team. Donovan Mitchell's banged up, no Jared Allen. Then in the Eastern Conference Final, it might be Celtics Pacers Eastern Conference Finals. How weak is that? That's terrible, man. That's not even worth watching. And then you look at Minnesota, Denver having to battle it out right now in the second round. It's crazy.
That was bizarre yesterday. In 20 seconds, the last 20 seconds of the first half, the Nuggets outscored Minnesota 8-0.
8-0. It was phenomenal from a viewer standpoint and from a broadcaster standpoint. Kevin Harlan and those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Jamal
just
Murray and Kevin Harlan.
Yeah,
they're a duo now.
They're a pair. They got something going on. That was fun to watch yesterday.
I may have your guy here, a Kings draft pick at 13.
Okay.
All right. Now maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have everything you're looking for, but this is, according to your buddy Kevin O'Connor, this guy's pluses are hustle, got that dog in him.
Really?
Yeah. That's the second thing he lists. Crafty finisher, positional versatility. He says, imagine this now. Positive contributor in every single facet of the game.
Who's he talking about?
And he thrills viewers while doing it. 6'3", with a 6'7" wingspan from Providence, Devin Carter.
Ooh, got that dog in him, hustle, crafty finisher, positional versatility. I like that.
That's right. That sounds like a pretty good player, doesn't it? If he's accurate.
But, yeah, you didn't read the minuses, though. You didn't go down and read the minuses. Look at that.
Doesn't handle pressure, double teams well, especially when trapped in the pick and roll. It's all right.
He doesn't handle pressure well.
Yeah, that I don't worry about so much, but how good is he really as a shooter? Low and slow release.
Yeah.
Extremely limited shooting off the dribble.
It's not my guy. That's not my guy. Only made 33% of his catch and shoot threes in his first 2 seasons.
Let me ask you something. And you didn't write this, I know, but if that's true, how can he be a positive contributor in every single facet of the game if he can't shoot? Huh? Come
Maybe
on,
we need
Kevin
to get
O'Connor.
Kevin O'Connor on to explain himself about. You're right about that.
Every facet of the game, great. He can't shoot.
He can't
dribble.
shoot, right?
But otherwise,
Everything
facet.
you want. Everything you want. No, you're right. Oh, my God.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. It's time for a Drapes is Back edition of Check It with TC. Hello, TC. What's up?
Yes, sir. Whitey, Drake, JJ in the back. Drake. Hey, Drapes, welcome back, bro.
What's up, TC? Happy to be back, man.
Listen, vibing. Hey, Jay, you heard him earlier, bro. They tried to get on us when we was getting on Allen, man. We were just trying to button up Allen. That's all it was. Whitey, I see y'all.
Yep.
I didn't hear what they say. You're going to have to tell me.
I had to tell Allen what was said about him and why it was said about him. Yeah, and TC laid into him on Friday.
Yeah, we had to lace his boots about Mother's Day, man. He did all that talking, man, without talking about his son's mother, man, his wife, man, giving a shout out, man, to him and his mom. So we was trying to lace his boots. Alan, you got to get it together, brother.
Trying to lace his boots. I love it, TC.
Hey, look now. Hey, check it out. Listen, the move that's gonna be made, man, is gonna be the Brandon Ingram trade. I promise y'all, man. Watch out for that move. That's the move that the Kings are going all in on for BI. As far as a draft pick, the second round pick, bro, our 45th pick. We're gonna take the guy. His name is Harrison Ingram out of North Carolina. 6'8", 230. Shoot like 40% from three, almost 50%, average 12 points, 8 rebounds a game. That's the wing help that we need. If we're going to pick somebody, pick that kid up in the second round. That's all I got. Check it.
Thank you, TC. For what it's worth, Kevin O'Connor agrees with TC. 100% agrees. 45th pick, he's got Harrison Ingram, North Carolina Jr. going to the Kings. So
really?
Kevin O'Connor probably got that from TC.
Yeah. Feel for the game, positional versatility, rebounding, solid player.
Playmaking ability.
How's TC
but now,
pinpointing to the second round pick, and we start struggling for the first round pick, right?
TC.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's a little more advanced. Now, the thing is with Kevin O'Connor, watch now the negatives will say, this guy can't walk across the floor without falling down. Struggles creating space off the dribble. Made only 52.4% of his shots at the rim.
That's not, yeah. All these guys got warts though, Whitey.
Yeah, I know. But I wish they just in the draft, pre-draft presentations of him, it'd be a little more down the middle rather than his strengths, or he could be the greatest player ever. Weaknesses, he might be the worst player ever. It doesn't help us.
Right.
It doesn't help us at all. In fact, I put together a little game that we may get to later. Maybe not.
I like that. Yeah.
I put together a game here where I have some of the pre-draft scouting reports on some players that the Kings have drafted in the first round.
Ooh.
And I'll give you the reports, and I want to see if you guys can guess who the player
is. Guess who the player is.
Yeah. So
let's do that.
We have that coming up. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, how about it as we look at what the Kings are going to do with the 13th pick? Brandon Ingram? Is an Ingram trade inbounds for the Kings? It's next. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
It's Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Emil Fergoso here to tell you about the Sacramento Autograph Expo Trade Night hosted by True Sports Cards, happening at the Fairgrounds in Roseville. Come hang out with fellow hobby enthusiasts as we sell and trade trading cards under the stars at Attaway Pavilion. Trade Night is completely free, happening Saturday, May 18th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. After an action-packed day of meeting your favorite athletes, stick around for a bit. So come on down to Trade Night at the Fairgrounds in Roseville, located at 700 Event Center Drive, Saturday, May 18th from 6 to 9 p.m. For more information, visit sacksportscardexpo.com or hit up Trade Night host Candlestick Sports Cards on Instagram. See you there.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
This time of year can mean only one thing: Jeeps, Jeeps, and more Jeeps. It's Jeep season at Lodi Jeep Superstore. Leonard Harrington here, and I can't wait to tell you about what we've got going on, because we're talking Jeeps and big savings too. Now you can get the 2024 Jeep Compass Sport 4x4 for only $26,999. That's right, just $26,999. And of course, it comes loaded with features like rear view camera, power tailgate, blind spot monitor, Bluetooth, 4-wheel drive, and much, much more for only $26,999.
More than 5 available with this offer. MSRP $27,495. Lodi CDJR discount $496. Net price $26,999. See dealer for details. Offer ends 5/31/24.
We're talking Jeeps. We're talking big savings, too. During the Jeep season, going on now at the Lodi Jeep Superstore, right off 99 in Kettleman, where we're open till 9 every night and Sundays after church.
Prices are better at the Low Price Center. Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Visit us at LodiCDJR.com.
Yeah!
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SacktownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SacktownSports.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports. Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Yeah, you watch the show and you realize, there he is. He's back in his Kings shirt.
Yeah.
Kyle Draper. Back from playing golf with Mike Bibby. It didn't go well, apparently.
Didn't go well, but, we bonded, though. We connected.
Good.
He had his birthday gathering Saturday. Invited me, so I felt like I was part of the in club.
Yeah,
so,
that's very nice.
It felt good, man.
Yeah.
It felt good.
And then after you went through it with him a little bit, you bounced back Saturday and shot your
86
best score
record
ever.
round 86.
You
Had
told
to
Tom
go.
Morton yet?
No, I haven't
told your
texted
teacher?
Tom. I haven't. I got to text him and let him know. I need to get back in the lab though, because the driver that's the key for me. If the driver's working,
sure.
I can play well, but if I'm losing a stroke off the tee every time, it's
Which way you wild? You slicing it a little bit? You hooking it? What are you? Not making good contact.
Mostly I'm pushing it. Like it's going directly, straight line.
Yeah.
Out of bounds though. And then you try to correct it, then it slices. It's like you overcorrected, and so it's never just right in the middle.
You ever put the big dog back in the bag and bring out the 3-wood to try to stay in
I
play?
have done that in the past, not anymore though. Not because Tom, my guy, is like, why are you carrying it then? If it's in your bag, don't be afraid to use it.
Yeah.
And so to conquer that fear, overcoming that fear of the driver, I use it every time now.
Yeah. Scott McCarron's a guy, he's local and he's been on tour. I think he's on the senior tour. He's been an announcer, but I was asking him one time about that. I think I'm so smart. Well, and I struggle with the driver. I put away the driver and he goes, what's the point of playing if you're not going to hit your driver?
Right.
Why are you even out there if you're not hitting your driver?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So the driver, you know what? I can tell though each day, like I go out, all right, it's going to be a good day for the driver or a bad day. And so you adjust accordingly. But Saturday was a good day for the driver.
You really, and this, I'm not getting anything for this, but the Player Performance Studio out there at Hagen, if you're struggling with your driver, if you ever have time, you might want to go out there and have them see which club you hit best.
Yes.
Have you done that?
I haven't. When I got fitted, they did all that kind of stuff. But, and I went and hit some drivers. But it was, because I need a new one, but I wasn't hitting it good enough to invest in a new one. So I was like, I might as well just keep the driver I have.
I went out there and they're like, what kind of driver do you like? And there's a brand. I said, oh, this is my type. And I was hitting it. And the guy says, okay, why don't you hit one of these? And whatever. It's like, well, you play that club, but okay. And he goes, yeah, you may think you love this type club, but you can't hit it as well as you hit this one. It's like,
I might go out there and do that. Try out some different drivers. Yeah. Get, because maybe that's the problem. I'm not using the correct driver for my swing type.
Maybe.
So,
Maybe. We're talking about the Kings and the 13th pick and what are they going to do and are they going to trade the pick? Some thoughts here from the smartest listeners in radio. By the way, Manny Too Legit. I mentioned Manny earlier, says you welcome back from your mini vacation. Compio is tired because his neighbor's tree had to come down, so Compio helped them take it down. How about that?
That's a great neighbor.
Yeah, it is.
Help them take it down. That's pretty. That's
Compio.
Oh, you say it's hard work. You need good equipment and a lot of help, but he pays well and makes great tacos. So he got some great tacos out of it. That's worth it right there.
Ron Johnson says Tristan Da Silva out of the University of Colorado is our guy at 13, small forward, 6'9", 3-and-D guy, can guard multiple positions, wing help. So Tristan Da Silva, we'll put him on our board. Curtis Hicks says Ingram's a beast, and I think he's talking about the guy that TC wants. Harrison Ingram, center out of North Carolina. So,
Whitey, when's the draft, man? We got, another 6 weeks or so before. Are we going to do this?
Yes.
The rest,
because not every day, because we know.
We need to make a list of all the names people throw out. And then when it's said and done, let's see if anybody is right.
Okay.
And give that, the caller a shout out, the YouTube, the texter, whoever it may be, a shout out.
Keep a running list.
Yeah, a running list. Because I feel like
I'm going to start it.
We're going to be talking about 20 to 25 different names we're going to throw out. And it's all based on the mock drafts and where the mock draft could change next week. And then we'll be like, oh, this guy who last week was at 22, he's at 13. He's our guy. And so I don't know, man.
Now, you weren't here in 2012, right?
No.
Maybe it was 2011 or 2012. The Kings decided they were, what's the word? They were going to let people, I apologize now, I forget the word. They're crowdsource. That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Crowdsource the number one pick. So they had people that are on computers and things, and they had them come up with crunch the numbers. And the consensus was, and I assume the Kings agreed with, that's why they took him, it was Stauskas. That's what they came up with.
Really?
Yeah.
Nick Stauskas.
Yes.
What pick was that? 7?
I think it was.
I can't remember Nick Stauskas.
People were upset then because I think they just traded away Isaiah Thomas right around that time. There weren't a lot of guys that were better obvious picks at that time. But yeah, they crowdsourced the pick is my point. Maybe the Kings should do that again this year, but they should just only use the people that listen to our show.
It would be a crapshoot, man. Like, think about it. You'd have like 40 people that people are voting on. And I just have no clue. And I haven't dug deep enough into these guys yet. I'm just going off of what Kevin O'Connor and everybody else is saying. As we get closer, I'll take a closer look and dive into some of these guys. But it's a crapshoot, man. This draft is just, it could be anybody, anywhere. And so we're just throwing names out right now. And here's the thing that's so crazy about it, Whitey. We're talking about, this is our guy. It got to be this guy. And what many say is the weakest draft in years. So even if it is our guy,
right?
How good is he?
But how can anyone know that? I heard Stiles and Watkins today talking about how some say this is the worst draft in 25 years. How could anybody? Maybe it is, but how could anybody know that right now?
Right. Yeah. And really, you can't, because when you look at a guy like Jokic, who we're seeing dominate, like, think about it. You look back at his draft. Yeah. If you would have got a Jokic, then that's one of the greatest drafts ever. You just don't know.
If somebody in that draft had said, we might take Jokic in the first round, they'd have been
laughed at.
Yeah. Out of the gym. By the way, speaking of Chris Watkins, he just sent me this from Woj. You were talking about how easy Boston's path to the championship is this year. ESPN sources, Donovan Mitchell will miss game 4.
No way.
Tonight with a left calf strain. Huge loss for the Cavs and a telltale home game down 2-1 in the series. So, that's from Woj via Chris Watkins. Donovan Mitchell will miss game 4 tonight. Calf strain.
Jeez.
Man. Calf strain's going around. A lot of guys dealing with that.
It is. That's a massive blow. Maybe Darius Garland will step up, but Donovan Mitchell has been the best player for them, obviously, this playoffs. And I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a Celtics hater right now, but it's like, and maybe because my timeline is filled with Celtics fans now from people I followed back when I was in Boston, but I'm not pulling for them, man. You're not?
Boston?
Yeah.
No. I do not pull for the Celtics. The only time I think you ever rooted for the Celtics, I was telling Jay, was maybe when they played against Kobe in the finals.
Really?
Yeah.
In 08 or 010 or 2000?
Yeah.
You weren't a Kobe guy.
No, I was not a Laker fan at that time. I was so happy that they won the first one, but then they lost the second.
So hold up. Jay, Whitey just outed himself.
Uh-oh.
I
You
mentioned
just
this last
outed
week.
himself. Who was your favorite team growing up?
When I was a kid, I rooted for the Lakers. I rooted for the Knicks when I was real little.
But yet you weren't a Lakers fan with Kobe. So how can I say I'm a Cowboys fan when I was younger and get ridiculed and everything, and then you guys get on my case when you're doing the same thing?
Oh, wait a minute.
You know what I mean, Whitey?
Got a little angle on you now.
I'm just saying. Remember, I said I was a Cowboys fan until they got Tony Romo. I didn't like Tony Romo, so I said I'm no longer a Cowboys fan. You guys got on my case about that because I became an Eagles fan. You were a Lakers fan growing up, but you cheered for the Celtics in 2008, 2010.
Once Shaq and Kobe joined the Lakers, I didn't care for the Lakers.
I'm just saying. Oh, so you're allowed to change your teams.
I don't care if you are or not. I'm gonna.
All right,
it sounds like you might have the same paddle in your hand there, White. That's what it sounds like.
Jay, we documented that, right? We got that down. All right, I appreciate it. We can move on now. I'm not the only one that has switched allegiances over the years.
The difference is you are such a diehard Eagles fan. And yet you used to root for as a kid their arch rival.
Don't do that, Whitey.
Well, there's a big difference there.
You were a Lakers fan, but you wanted the Celtics to win. Talk about rivalries.
I didn't like either team. I can't stand the Celtics or the Lakers. But I wanted Kobe to lose.
Oh, man. We got it on record now. All right. You guys cannot give me any
Kobe
crap.
did to us here in Sacramento?
Oh, I understand that. I get that. I understand that. And but you were allowed to change teams and did so willingly. Wear it as a badge of honor. Yes, I'm no longer a Lakers fan. You know what they did? I get it. But I get ripped for being an Eagles fan after being a Cowboys fan?
I think you carry that banner a little higher. That's a difference. Right? If there's a difference there. I mean, you literally own an Eagles poncho or whatever it is.
Yeah. But when you're a kid, when you're 12, 13, 14, 15, it's one thing. It's like Warriors fans now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of kids who are Warriors fans in Sacramento. When they become adults, they will be Sacramento Kings fans because that's where they are from. But when you're a kid, you don't know that. You don't understand that.
The weirdest thing is I grew up in Vallejo, Bay Area. So that was the Warriors. Kings weren't even here yet. And in my family, we did not root for the Warriors. And
really?
I don't even know why. I was brought up into that family. I don't even know why.
And you're right down the street from them.
Yeah. We went to the games, but
no.
We didn't root for the Warriors. I don't even know why.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we good now?
No, we're good. I just trying to see, where you stand on things. And I understand it a little bit.
It looks like y'all looking in the mirror. I will say that. You guys kind of got the same image in the mirror.
Brandon Ingram, is there any way the Kings can make him theirs? Next, Sacktown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
It's a toss to McCaffrey, a cutback run 30, breaks 340. McCaffrey midfield. McCaffrey 40, 30, 20, and toasted all the way down to the 3-yard line on the first play of the game. CMC Dynamite!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sacktown Sports.
Congratulations, Kyle Draper. One of your favorite football teams has just signed their quarterback to a 4-year, $212 million contract extension.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Are you still a Lions
Oh,
fan?
yeah. My boy Dan Campbell in there.
I mean, my boy Dan Campbell and company.
Jared Goff signing with the Lions, 4 years, $212 million extension that includes $170 million guaranteed, according to Adam Schefter.
Nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, it's just the market now.
Right.
For
that's
quarterbacks.
the thing.
It's, you got to pay them, It's, what's Brock Purdy going to get? What, next year?
$1 billion.
Billion, right?
Yeah.
Ownership, stake in the franchise.
We're this close to having him on the show.
Are you?
Oh,
really?
no. Yeah, we are, right? It's a possibility. Yeah,
You guys efforting that?
We had Alex Smith last week.
Yeah.
We had Jeff Garcia.
Yes.
And
I
those
heard
two are
about
part
that.
of a 4-man panel along with Steve Young and Brock Purdy. So
really?
And I spoke to the powers that be, and I know we're looking to get Alden Smith on this week.
Okay.
And Brock Purdy, and I kept trying to push Brock back until Drapes was here.
Oh,
so
good.
hopefully
All right,
everything lines up. We can get him
let's
this
go.
week when Drapes is
Let's
here, so we
go.
can talk a little. You can become a 49er fan now.
If I'm correct, I'm the only one who owns a Brock Purdy jersey here.
That is true.
Exactly.
That's true.
And I will bring
You
that
still
up to
have
him. Yeah, I
That's
still got
interesting
it.
because you've told us, I don't even know where that is anymore.
Right?
I got rid of it.
We need to get him in the studio, get him to sign it. Frame that thing, put it up on my walls.
Here's the dang deal on Brandon Ingram. Reports emerging over the weekend. The Pelicans will aggressively try to trade Brandon Ingram. They are hesitant to extend him. Is there any way the Kings can make Brandon Ingram a Sacramento King? Not unless the Pelicans will take Harrison Barnes and Kevin Hurt.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say there's zero chance. Like, he's number one on my wish list, but there's zero. Why would the Pelicans trade him for what the Kings have to offer? Like, we don't have anything that could actually help them. They're trying to win right now. They're not building for the future, looking at multiple picks 5 years from now. They're looking for a high-quality player in return. Is it a Zach LaVine maybe or something like that? Like, I think whatever deal they make with Brandon Ingram, it's going to be a star-level kind of trade. It won't be for a bunch of no-names and picks.
According to Mark Stein, teams considered likely to be interested in Ingram include Philadelphia, Cleveland, Atlanta, and Orlando. And, of course, Atlanta has all kinds of options now, and a lot of people think Atlanta could trade the number one pick and Trae Young. That could be a package.
Right. Yeah, if I'm Atlanta, you're in the driver's seat now. Because not only do you have the number one pick, you have arguably the most valuable trade asset out there in Trae Young. And so I don't even know if Brandon Ingram is enough for Trae Young and the number one pick.
Yeah, probably not.
Like, you might have to include some other stuff, too, if you're in New Orleans. And so Atlanta's in the driver's seat right now.
There has never been a natural chemistry between Ingram, Zion, and McCollum. I remember, because we were trying to figure out why can't the Kings beat these guys? And, you look under the hood, you find some flaws. And I think those three together, the team, they might have had a negative point differential with those three on the floor at the same time. New Orleans committed to Zion. McCollum, they consider the adult in the room, so that means Ingram is the odd man out. They can extend him at a max of about $200 million. But apparently, according to reports from the Times-Picayune, the Pelicans have no interest in doing that.
Wow. And he's going into the final year of his deal, making $36 million. And so if you're the Kings, and I've just said, I don't see how we swing a trade unless there's a 3-teamer or something like that. You get somebody else involved, but I don't see a 1-for-1 or us and them. But would you want Brandon Ingram not knowing that you could re-sign him after this upcoming season?
Not unless I could give away stuff I didn't want, which is very unlikely.
Whitey, but you got to do something. If you're Sacramento, you got to take some risks, don't you? Are we in a position now where we don't have to take risks? We could just let it slow play and be very conservative.
Well, there's also the J plan, which I had not considered till he said it. You add a draft pick, if you find somebody that fits, you got the biannual exception, mid-level, you can add some players, and then maybe you hope things look different at the trade deadline. And I know a lot of people are going to go, no, I don't want to wait again, but it is an option. And it seems very Monty-esque to me to go, let's just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah. And, here's the thing about that. And you could argue that there will be multiple teams this summer looking to make moves. At the trade deadline, things might quiet down. You might not have as much competition. I see that. But from a fan standpoint, let's keep it real, White.
You're right.
The trade deadline is not the midway point of the season. You're talking about 55 games into the season, and so you only got about 30 games after the trade deadline. Is it going to be too late then in the loaded Western Conference? That's what you got to weigh if you're Monte McNair. I get it, having a patient approach, striking, at the trade deadline next year. But going into this upcoming season, knowing that you came up short this year, you didn't make the playoffs, from a fan's perspective, I think you got to win the offseason here. I think you have to do something splashy because it's been a while that the Kings have done something like, really, you got to go back to the Sabonis-Halliburton trade. Everything since then has been very conservative by Monte McNair.
Yeah, the Pelicans, of course, they like Zion, they like McCollum. They like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III. Did anybody know when the Pelicans got those guys they were going to be this good? I'm sure they loved them and they were optimistic.
Right.
My point is that's what the Kings need to find one way or the other, presumably in the draft. Somebody like a Herbert Jones or Trey Murphy III. No disrespect to them because they're great players, unique players anyway. But you need to find somebody in this draft you're like, yes, all right, it panned out. That's, I think, their best path forward. Because they're so limited. They can draft guys, but getting a free agent, like look at Ingram right now. What if he's available? He is. The Kings, their hands are tied. They really can't make a move.
Yeah, and it's. I'm sorry, I'm distracted because I'm watching ESPN and I'm watching PJ Washington average 28 points per game over his last 2 games, helping Dallas. And I'm saying, how come we couldn't get in on that?
Good question.
Like, that's the guy that we should have had.
Yep.
He would have been perfect for us.
I got to admit, I was not in on him, and you were in, and I think Jay was too. You guys were all the way in.
And so it's frustrating to me watching other teams make these moves that help them, most notably Dallas, looking at what they've done, and us sitting here saying, oh, man, we're kind of hamstrung. We're kind of strapped. Our assets aren't that strong. The draft pick, the players, and everything like that. We're talking about winning the championship, Whitey. We got to do something bold here. We're Sacramento. It's not like we've been in the lottery. We've had the cracks at the lottery. I'm tired of that. I need some upper-level talent here, some veteran talent, whether it's a Brandon Ingram, who, like I mentioned before, I don't think we can get unless we do some sort of 3-team deal, or a Zach LaVine or a Bradley Beal. We need upper-level talent right now.
But here's the problem. And again, on PJ Washington, you were right. I didn't see it. You were right. But what did they get him for? The Mavs worked out the deal with the Hornets, so they got PJ Washington for Grant Williams, Seth Curry, and a first-rounder.
Are our assets better than that or no?
I don't think so. You tell me. I know you're a Grant Williams guy.
That's my guy.
Yeah.
Grant is definitely my guy, but he's one of those guys Dallas wanted out.
I know.
Dallas was wanting to get rid of him. So his value wasn't as high. And he's done a great job out there in Charlotte, obviously. But, when you look at our assets, whether it's HB, Kevin Huerter, and the pick or two, I don't know. Does that stack up?
That's what I'm saying. In my mind, it doesn't, especially when Huerter, and bless him, maybe he bounces back this year. He had a bad year last year. So his value goes down. He can bring it back up. Value goes down. Plus, then he got hurt. Value goes down. So if this offseason, if that's what, your standard package is, there's just not a lot of value there. It's hard to compete.
That's frustrating. And I hear you, and you're absolutely right, especially when we talk about the Ingrams of the world and what the Pelicans would want back. They want upper-level talent.
The Kings don't even know what number ones they have yet, right?
Yeah.
Because of the Atlanta
situation.
Yeah.
Right. You could trade this year's. You got to make the pick and then trade it. But I think then you can't trade and get until the 28th draft or 27. So you got to wait. And so I think it's 28, actually, because if you convey to 26, then you can't do it in back-to-back years. So at the earliest you could trade is your 28th, year 28 pick. And so they're in a bind right now, man. And you know, we've had guests on before, Bobby Marks and all these guys talking about the Kings situation, it's a bonus extension, and how has that hamstrung them, Malik Monk. And it's frustrating because I'm going to watch Trae Young get traded. I'm going to watch Brandon Ingram get traded. I'm going to watch all these big names get traded, and I'll be like the kid at the playground off by the side, and everybody else is on the swing having fun. Like, we need to have some fun this offseason.
It sounds like that actually happened to you.
No, it's a little PTSD. Back in the day, I was that loner kid. Like, pick me, and they would never pick me. That was, yes. You know, it's interesting. Somebody on the text line just texted on 209. The Rockets last year, there were rumors they wanted Harrison Barnes. Wonder if there's any interest there. I would keep an eye on the Houston Rockets as a team looking to make some moves. You know, they got the draft picks coming up. They got young pieces already. Like, is there somebody on that Tari Eason we talked about? They need to clear some people out, I think, right there in Houston. So keep an eye on them.
Mm-hmm. But that's just an example of where I think the Kings are. Brandon Ingram's available. You got a guy that you would love to have, and the team that has him is apparently putting up the signs, right? Like, we want to move him. And the Kings just, I don't know, unless there's something that we're missing, they just don't have the wherewithal to put together a very competitive offer. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. And so, all right, let's say we can't get those
put
picks.
Keegan in there.
But we're not at that point. We're not at that point. Right, exactly. And so, but then you got to take on some guys with some issues, some warts, whether it's Bradley Beal or whether it's Zach LaVine, you know, with the injury history and a salary situation. Or you're looking at lower tier guys. You know, we talked about Jeremy Grant. I know you've mentioned him from time to time. What does Portland get out of that, though? Like, if they trade Jeremy, what does Portland get from us that would help them out, you think?
Portland, I know a guy who works for the radio station up there, the Blazer station. He says Portland's looking for young players and draft picks because, and he says they really are coveting things for next year's draft.
Ooh.
So, yeah. And why exactly that is, I'm not sure. I assume it's because, obviously, the players are going to be available. But he says Portland might do that if they can move off the contract and get somebody who's going to help them at a time when they expect to actually be a really competitive team. So
let me throw a name out at you, you know, because I'm looking at Houston, and let me throw a name at you and a guy that could be gettable, a guy that you could trade for. I firmly believe Dylan Brooks. I'm just throwing it out there, Whitey.
Why would they trade him? They just signed him
because they got a bunch of young players already. They got draft picks coming in. I think they're going to have to shake some things up. I think they're too deep. They got too much guard depth out there.
Oh, I just thought he was the guy that brought them their edge, and that's irreplaceable.
Yeah, but they got that with their coach. They got that with Fred VanVleet also, and so I don't know. Or let me ask you this.
I'm laughing because I almost said, if it's Dylan Brooks, I'm leaving.
Hey, were you almost exactly?
I thought I was not going to be Dylan Brooks. But you love Dylan Brooks.
I love Dylan Brooks.
You just think they're overloaded at that position.
I just think, because you got Dylan Brooks, you got Jalen Green, you got, if you throw a Min Thompson, maybe he's a center, but you got also Cam Whitmore, who was a first-round draft pick, and you got picks coming up this year as well, and so you're loaded already. Another guy we talked about that could be out there, a Reggie Bullock, who's going to be a free agent. Maybe.
What do you think Houston? And if you said this, I apologize.
Yeah.
What do you think Houston's looking for?
I think they're looking for veteran wing help off the bench, an HB type. Remember they brought in Jeff Green last year off of Denver.
Yeah.
I think they need some more grown-ups, some veterans that aren't just looking to get buckets, but looking to play the team concept. Let some of these other young guys cook. Let the Şengün's cook. Let the Jalen Greens, Jamari Smith Jr. cook. And so I think a guy like HB, would be enticing to them just because they need more veterans on that team.
Yeah.
All right. I just threw it out. My guy, Dylan Brooks, again.
Gotcha. Yeah. You just want Dylan Brooks.
I do. I actually do. He's a guy with an edge, a defender. I like Dylan.
Your guy Patrick Beverly got suspended,
I know.
And we got to see what you think of Jay's.
Yeah, I want to hear Jay's
big
guy.
Fish wish list #1. We'll get to that when we come right back. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-high rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980. Sunrise Marketplace invites you to the region's best backyard hangout on May 18th, featuring craft breweries, home brewers, food trucks, games, live music, and more. Use discount code BREW24 for $5 off general admission tickets now at shopsmp.com and help support Citrus Heights Heart and Citrus Heights Rotary.
Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass. Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
My community means everything to me. That's why I joined the Army National Guard. I'm proud of where I'm from, and as a soldier, I get to give back to the people that help me succeed. The training and leadership skills I get from the Army National Guard help me every day when I teach young people and look out for my community. If you'd like to learn how you too can serve part-time with the community you love, visit nationalguard.com.
Sponsored by the California Army National Guard, aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Golf Monthly lists 10 things great golfers don't do. They don't arrive at the course with minutes to spare. Get there in time to properly warm up. They don't follow one mistake with another. Take your medicine and move on. They don't lose their cool. Tiger takes 10 steps and the problem is gone from his mind. They don't give up. A bad round can always get better. They don't blame their tools. It wasn't the putter's fault you three-putted. And they don't worry about three-putting. Move to the next hole and try again. Great golfers don't take unnecessary risks. Keep those large numbers off the scorecard. They don't underclub. Weekend golfers think they hit the ball farther than they actually do. They don't always hit the driver. Put the big stick back in the bag when it's not behaving. And finally, great golfers don't hit balls randomly. Have a plan on the range and stick to it, and take that same plan to the course. It's a game. Have some fun out there. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Before we get any further, Drapes, I want you to hear this from me, because it's going to probably be talked about between now and the start of next season. And I don't think, as somebody who would like to see Ingram come to the Kings, I don't think you're going to care for this. Sean Devaney of Heavy Sports has been talking to some NBA executives. An anonymous Western Conference executive told him, for what the Warriors are going to be looking for, Brandon Ingram is the kind of guy they will be in the market for. The East Coast, let's see, East Coast GM. Yeah. You can play him at the 4. He can switch a lot. He can play the 3 or the 2. He's become a very good playmaker. That's the kind of versatility Steve Kerr loves to have. You might question his toughness, but put him next to Draymond Green, and that will change. So here we are trying to figure out how the Kings could get Brandon Ingram, how they could get him. There are some around the NBA said, the Warriors and Brandon Ingram might be a fit. How would that feel?
That would be tough. And those conversations would have to start with Jonathan Kuminga. If I'm the Pelicans, I mean, I don't see what else the Warriors have to offer outside of that. Moody,
yeah. Moody, here you go. Devaney posited Chris Paul, Moses Moody, future first-round trade package for Ingram, or a deal centered around Wiggins and Moody.
I forgot about Wiggins. That's
your
guy.
guy.
That is my guy, Andrew Wiggins. Wow. No, it doesn't make sense, though. Like, it from a Pelican standpoint. Like, to me, that does not make you better. Like, they're in the market to go for it right now. And I don't know if getting Moses Moody and Chris Paul, maybe I don't know how much Chris Paul has left. He's 39 years old, about to be 40. I don't know how much he has left. But a stabilizing point guard could help them out, move CJ off the ball to the 2. But I got to imagine there's better deals out there for a guy like Brandon Ingram, who's 26 years old. I mean, yeah.
All right, what do you think of Jay's?
Oh, I want to hear this.
Number one name on his big fish wish.
Who you got, Jay?
All right. I'm not even going to go down the whole soliloquy. You had Jeremy Grant, White.
Yeah.
Right? Who was Jerry's?
I don't know if we did it with Jerry.
Okay. Scott Marsh's was.
His was Siakam.
And then who was
Emile was Durant, and then we had
Watkins.
Frankie was Paul George.
And we're talking big fish.
Big fish, but also there has to be some way where
it could actually happen.
So like Giannis, well, they're not going to get Giannis.
Right.
But all these guys
Giannis.
Right. Either they're free agents or they're rumored to be possibly moving.
Yeah. So mine is Miles Bridges. I like what Miles Bridges to take. I think he does everything kind of in the Dylan Brooks style, not as much as, in your face.
We didn't get into it too much, but we started really interesting conversation on that.
He's a wing, obviously, 21 a game, 7 a game. I mean, he does everything the Kings need. He's not backing down. Really, the only problem with Miles Bridges is the Louis Vuitton luggage that comes with it.
The only problem, right?
Beyond that, what else is there that you dislike?
And Jay, it ain't the Louis Vuitton, little change purse or whatever. He got the big Louis Vuitton luggage that you got to check in at the airport.
Absolutely.
This ain't no carry-on luggage.
He's got the family set.
Right?
He got the trunk. He got the family set.
Nah, but he's a free agent, right?
Yeah. And he hasn't been making that much money.
He hasn't been making that much money. It'll be interesting. And I like the player, Jay. I think he's exactly what we need player-wise. Starting 4, can score the ball, the toughness Jay's talking about. I like Miles Bridges as a player. Solid rebounder at 7.3 per game as well. So I'm all on board the Miles Bridges, minus the baggage, of course. And when you look at what the Kings have done historically under Monty McNair, they got a lot of good guys. So I don't know if they want somebody like that representing them. And this is something we talked about off air. It's like, would Sacramento embrace a guy like that with all his baggage? I think he's a talent. I don't know if we could get him, contractually wise, pay him. From a basketball standpoint, I'm all in. I don't know about the other stuff, all that baggage.
I think it's really interesting, and it's a great point basketball-wise, but I think there's the baggage, the luggage is too heavy. I don't think the Kings should do it.
For the Kings or for any team?
Well, for the Kings. Somebody will do it.
Of course.
Yeah, somebody will do it.
Absolutely.
Like Charlotte's been doing it, but
he's putting up 21, almost 8 and 5.
I know. I know.
And he's 26.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Flint
I don't even
guy.
think he's made $10 million a year yet, has he?
No, he's still off the rookie
7.
deal.
Yeah, I think it's 7 last year.
And an extension, and then So I understand the baggage, and this is my point, Drapes. You've kind of been talking about there's warts. That's the word you've been saying.
Yeah, yep.
You know, we've been trying to finesse a way to get somebody. Brandon Ingram, Jeremy Grant, Bradley Beal, Zach LaVine. The list goes on.
Yep.
This is a guy that we know is going to bring it every night. Like I said, he's from Flint. We know he keeps an attitude. We know he's the box scorer, the stat stuffer. The only thing that's wrong with him is what he's done off the court. And I'm not saying that we overlook that by all means, because I know people, but Jay, he's not a great person and all. I don't know him. So I don't know. But I do know a lot of people have said everything that's off the court is in the past. There's nothing else he has to deal with. It's all about, do you want to check his file? Are you okay with the file that comes along with him? The PR. And listen, I'll be the first one to say the Kings organization is top class in a lot of different ways, but they don't grab the bull by the horns a lot of times when it comes to PR. You know, we don't see our guys on ESPN enough. We don't see our guys spread across national television enough in my eyes. I think that hurts us. And with that being said, we're talking about soon as he signs, the city's going to, the people who dislike him is going to be an uproar. So now you're going to have to have a PR plan in position for this man.
Yeah, that you're making, to me, an organizational statement if you bring him in that you just don't want to make. And some of that is open to interpretation, but you know how people are going to interpret it. You know how people are going to perceive that. They will perceive that as you in some ways condoning what has happened, whether you mean to or not, whether you believe in him or not. I don't think they're in a position where they can take that chance.
Yeah, it's tough because I love the player. I like the player a lot, and I'm looking at this story that just came out on Hoops Hype. The Hornets, Pistons, and Utah Jazz are among the notable teams expected to have interest in Miles Bridges during free agency. So there will be somebody out there that pays that guy. And is it a 448 that we can offer him, or 451, or whatever the number is? Or is he going to be more than that? I don't know, because you're talking about a 21 point per game scorer, 7 rebounds a game guy. Usually those guys get paid. And I know he has the baggage. And so what's it going to cost to get him, Jay? Can we afford him with the mid-level exception?
That's the interesting thing, fellas, is I'm not sure. I think he's still kind of on the prove it position. I need you to walk the straight line for a year or two. So you might be able to, and on the opposite, I'm not saying Malik Monk was in this position, but Malik Monk came here to prove himself in a certain way, and you caught him cheap. And now he outplayed his contract, and now you're not probably going to keep him cheap. I think Miles, for his own reasons, are in that position. And I'm not saying he's probably not going to get, 15 to 25 per year, but you may be able to catch him for a 1 year, play your way into it, and the next year we'll bless you with a higher contract. And when you name those teams off, the Pistons, I'm not scared of the Pistons. The Utah Jazz, I'm not scared of Utah Jazz. None of these guys are better than who I am. I get it. Right. And this is the other point I made too, fellas. Please jump on this. I know Whitey did a little bit. At what point is Sacramento as great people as we are? At what point are we going to take a chance in the form of, we don't all have to be nice guys? Can one person not be a nice guy? Just one person through the whole 35 years of Sacramento not be a nice guy.
But we're talking about more than, not being a nice guy.
I understand that.
And I know you know that. Yeah. And, why do you want to win? Like you say, you want to win. Of course you want to win. You want to win because that's your business. It's good for business. But bringing in a guy like that, and they have ways of judging this. Maybe they'd be fine, but that might be bad for business. You got to be really careful about something like that. I remember years ago, and Barry Bonds never did anything like what Miles Bridges is, well, as far as we know, anything like that.
Allegedly.
But when there was an announcement, you may remember this, Arizona, it was floated, Arizona might sign Barry Bonds. This was after he had retired. And there was an outpour of fans just saying, no, I will cancel my season tickets if they do that. And it went away. And my understanding is, I heard through some channels, they floated that balloon. They were thinking of doing it. They wanted to see how people react. So you can do stuff like that. There are ways you can
that
do
out
it.
there.
And then you see it like, oh, okay, well, we're not going to do that. But it is basketball-wise, business-wise, it's this type of thing, Jay, to your point, that I think if you're the Kings, you don't have that many options, so you have to take some risks. A guy like that's that talented, wow, he might not be available for that if not for these circumstances. So maybe we have to assume that risk. I don't think they will, but I understand your point.
Let me ask you guys this, because you've been around Sacramento longer than I have. How would the fan base react to it? And should that even matter?
Sure, it has to, right? Because those are your customers.
Jay?
And I think I don't think they'd react well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting point. That's why I brought his name up as being the guy. I think we can handle it enough. I think Sacramento fans are so loyal that it doesn't matter who you bring through here. They're going to go watch the game. And it's a one-trick pony town.
Right.
If we really want to unveil some of the layers to it, there's nothing else going on certain times, right? And so, yeah, the Kings are always going to do well. For me, I'll be honest. When they've had terrible teams, a lot of people just go for the visiting team. And so I think they'll never be down in the pits unless something absolutely, even when they were talking about moving the team, people were falling out to go over there, So I'm not saying that it's going to detour everybody, but I'm also saying there will be some stand-up people, and God bless you. Absolutely. But you have skeletons too. I'm not saying to that level, and I'm not trying to make it okay. I'm just saying we have to have that conversation if we want to get better with certain people. We all have skeletons.
You're saying deal with it and move on.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, I would kind of like what you said, Whitey. Maybe we float it out there. Maybe we sit down and have a discussion.
Right.
Maybe we bring everybody and their grandma to talk to Miles Bridges. Let's bring Draper in. Let's bring Whitey. Let's bring everybody we possibly can to get the best judgment we can on this gentleman moving forward.
Real quick, guys. Justin from the 916 says, hold on, Whitey. Very well, every Kings fan in this universe will take all the baggage and all the issues, no matter what Miles Bridges does, for a ring, if he means a ring. So would that justify it? That's on the text line right there. Somebody said that.
I don't know. First of all, when you sign him, you don't know if you're going to win a ring or not, right? I mean, initially, people aren't going to. The initial reaction won't be, well, he won a ring. It can't be, because you don't know how it's going to go. And you may be right, but I think in this day and age, I think there'd be some really strong adverse reactions to bringing him in. That's it. I'm surprised that you said you named 3 teams already.
Yeah.
And one of them was Utah, which surprised me, because I think of that as being a very conservative town.
Yeah. Gold, Silver, and Diamond says Danny Ainge loves players he can get on a discount. He'll snatch up Miles Bridges in a heartbeat if the Kings don't. He also says Kings fans would embrace Bridges. We embrace many players who may not have been very good people. I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know,
I mean, let's be honest. None of these guys ever did anything like what Miles Bridges is. But who could that be? It could be DeMarcus
Cousins, yeah.
But DeMarcus wasn't.
I know. That's why I'm reluctant.
Off the court, he wasn't nowhere near. It was on the court for DeMarcus. He never did anything outside.
Yeah, you're right. Who do you think this person could be talking about? And maybe it's better if we don't even name names, because already it seems unfair.
Yeah.
But have the Kings embraced any people that are questionable character-wise?
I mean, Weber came in here with a bad, attitude, so to say.
Yeah, that's what somebody on the text side.
Keon Clark posts, he had some certain things.
Yeah.
I can't remember anyone who technically had that type of.
Yeah, this is
a domestic violence case, is what Miles Bridges had.
Yeah, and it's even it's worse than your.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he pled. So let's get it out there. He pled no contest. All 3 counts were thrown out, though.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I mean, that's the only thing we can do is allegedly.
Yeah.
It wasn't proven to the best of our ability. I don't know 100% as deep of, what
he was disciplined by the league, right? So the league felt something.
Well, he got 3 years of probation as well, though.
Yeah. So.
And I don't know. I'll say this.
You have to explore it from a basketball standpoint.
Yes.
You
on
have
the
to
court, I think you have to have the conversation, and it goes back to what Drapes, you say all the time. The Kings are in the position a la the Atlanta Hawks. They're in position to have a person or two or three or, something that either it's an injury, off the floor, bad attitude, motor's not always there. Like, they're going to have to take a chance on someone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Compio says, and look, we don't know. We're guessing. He suggests Sacramento residents fans would be outside G1C protesting. That'd be my guess. As a reaction would be more, maybe not that extreme, but I think there'd be a really strong reaction. I don't know.
What's the biggest reaction? What do you think is what do you think is coming?
I think there would be a lot of fans that would speak out about it and would try to discourage other fans from supporting it.
That happens all the time.
That's true.
Really strong measures. I don't want to
sure
speak it into existence.
Well, if you're Sacramento, though, if you're the Kings organization, you got to do your due diligence, right? You got to look into his background, the history, what happened with the domestic incident and everything like that. But also, if Miles Bridges comes out, introductory press conference, says all the right things, goes out on the floor, bust his butt, I think Kings fans will embrace him. Maybe not from the opening jump. Maybe there'll be some backlash. But when you see him on the floor, when he puts up 30 and 15 against the Lakers on opening night, I think all that'll be forgiven. I think all that, it's the initial public relations hit that you have to take if you're Sacramento, because we've seen guys have incidents before. I mean, and sort of recover. I mean, think about it like this. We had Meta World Peace here.
Yeah.
Our boy Ron Artest.
Yeah, that's a great name.
And what happened? He became a fan favorite, right? And so I think it's going to be up to Bridges to wherever he goes, do his speaking on the court. Unless, too, if I'm running Miles Bridges' PR campaign, I'm having him volunteer at domestic violence shelters. I'm having him be an advocate. I'm having him be a face of what not to do. As
heinous as domestic violence is, it's even worse than that, and that's terrible.
Yeah,
true. Because we're also talking about there were children involved who apparently witnessed it. So we're talking about 2 felony counts of child abuse. And look, I'm not making a case. I'm not arguing to a jury. I'm just, for those who don't know what's going on, just pointing that out. That's why it is so fraught with peril from the standpoint of any team that wants to do it. And I'm just explaining why I think the reaction would be very strong. Again, I'm not arguing that you can't do it. I think you'd have to tread very, very lightly. And in my opinion, the reaction would be strong enough where it wouldn't make sense for you to do it.
Someone we just had a domestic violence case. The name escapes me, but they had a domestic violence case that, I can't remember what happened. Obviously, it didn't.
Well, Rashawn Holmes had it.
It wasn't Rashawn
not
Holmes.
him.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was somebody else.
It was let
me look
the
it
G
up.
League player
Yeah.
that actually was. It was much worse.
No.
than that. Yeah,
This is. It escapes me. I feel like he was just on the team a couple of years ago, and I remember, and it was a good guy. And I'm gonna have to look it up, but I understand the fact, and it's almost like I have to argue against what he did. And
but I know that's
what
not
I'm
really.
doing.
Yeah, and I know you're
I'm
not.
doing
That's
that.
not what you're doing.
What I'm saying is the position that the Kings are in, if they want to make a move this offseason that's a splash and it's going to take the next level, push the Kings to the next level, I think you have to look at, like we say, Zach LaVine. Well, he's never healthy, but you got to take the chance. Bradley Beal, you never know what you're going to get from him. And I understand on the court, health is not the same. I'm not comparing it. Let's make sure of that. Make sure it's clear. I'm just saying there's going to be baggage that comes with the player if we're looking to go all in this offseason, which is why I continue to keep on saying I don't think the player's there this offseason. I think you got to work around the fringes. I think you got to get the Chris Duartes and actually hit on some of those guys.
Yeah.
And then look at the trade deadline in next offseason.
And that just sounds to me that I would think that Monty would hear that and go, yep, that makes the most sense to me. It just sounds very Monty-esque.
And you also have to look at it from a business standpoint. If you're Vivek, would you even sign off on it? Forget what the fans may say. Do you want somebody with that baggage representing your organization?
I don't want that person to feel
and there are a lot of people are weighing in on the text line right here. 916 says, I'm sorry, but no. Miles Bridges should be banned from the NBA. I don't care if he's the best player of all time. We'd be out there protesting.
Then why are you not doing it now? Is that person from that same person? Are you going to Kings if you're blessed and have the financial means to go to Kings games? So you mean to tell me you pick and choose what Kings game you go to depending on who they play? Because there's a bunch of people out there who have skeletons, been arrested, and all these other things. So then do it now. Why are you an NBA fan? Why are you even supporting the product then? Because the NBA has some very murky things going on. That's a hypocrite. Now, again, to the certain level of what has happened with Miles Bridges, understandable. With that being said, the NBA's got murky, muddy waters going on all the time. Why do you support the NFL? Do you support baseball? There's so many scandals and things going on. Do you watch television? Stop it.
But they're not all equal, Jay.
Yeah,
You're right. You're 100% right.
Everything in this world that you incorporate with yourself, unless you go home and you're a monk, you're supporting something. The moment you turn on NBC for whatever sitcom you're watching, NBC's got murky, muddy waters. That's a hypocrite. That's not true.
You may be hypocritical.
Stop reading the book because there's certain people who've done it. What can you do in life that's not?
It's easy to ignore this or that. There are certain things that people choose not to ignore. They're just harder to. And when you're talking about something dealing with children, people have a harder time ignoring that. Maybe it is hypocritical, but people like, well, it's okay. Me personally, I have to draw the line at that. I think this is one of those
totally
things.
Understand.
Yeah.
916. As a Kings fan, I, for one, would be against bringing Bridges in. We have never had anyone on the team that we are aware of who had the kind of issues that he has. I cannot support someone who would have done things like that.
Terrence Davis, thank you to the 916. That was the
Terrence.
Okay. TD had a domestic violence in 2019, 2020. Looked at 2020. Yeah, I believe it's 2020.
Okay.
A lot of people jumped up and clapped their hands for TD. There's a lot of people clamoring, and I'm not saying these people that's on the text line. Totally get it. I'm not, and I don't want to come off because it sounds like it. I'm not defending Miles Bridges.
Right.
I'm just saying on the basketball floor, he's everything the Kings need. Off the floor, I'm with you. Look, I have a 13-year-old. I don't even need to go through that.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I get wholeheartedly, 100%.
Interesting that there's a handful of teams supposedly interested in him, and he's probably going to be affordable in part because of all of the circumstances surrounding everything, right?
Yeah. I see, a full mid-level for him, 448, 452, whatever that number shakes out to be.
That would be, if you could get him basketball-wise for that, I think that'd be a steal.
It'd be a steal, right? Basketball-wise, is somebody going to give him more than that though? It's 15 million, a 460. I don't know. He comes with baggage, but here's the thing. He played this NBA season. He comes with baggage, yes, but the league investigated, they did what they had to do, handled it how they handled it, and he's been deemed cleared to play. Who are we to say, you know what, we're the moral police here, like Jay was talking about being hypocritical. We're the moral police. We don't want that guy. I don't know, man. It's tough because somebody's going to pick him up.
Yeah.
And so he's going to help somebody win some games.
But everybody has that right to make that choice.
Yeah.
Who are we to say? I understand what you're saying, but everybody has that right to say that's just
too far for me.
Yeah.
Totally understand it.
Yeah. So it's interesting that we haven't heard a peep other than Jay saying, hey, that would make sense. That's all we've heard on that front. When, it does make a lot of sense basketball-wise.
Oh, basketball-wise, 100%. Yeah. 26 years old, just turned 26 in March. Some toughness, ruggedness. No, 100% basketball-wise, it would be a no-brainer.
When we come back, Bobby Gerald's going to join us. He's the editor of hoopsobsession.com, so we'll talk more about the upcoming draft, who is available, and who might be a good fit for your Kings. Next, Drive Guy, Sacktown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. Delta breeze will cool us down to the low to mid 50s by morning. Tomorrow will be a sunny day with highs near 90. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Hey, Whitey here, reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills. They can't match them. They're built different, built better, built to last, made with premium stainless steel. It boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. And hey, Napoleon offers a limited time rebate on select grills. Napoleon Grills and Accessories now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Febreze. Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleanse are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumberyard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort.
Do you have sore feet, an aching back, or plantar fasciitis? Then get to the Good Feet store nearest you for your free arch support fitting. Good Feet arch supports are only available at the Good Feet store. Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Brandon Gilbert, Dustin Letch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, Brian Kelly, Drew Baldridge, Brian Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthew.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPfest.com. That's CITPfest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Gurnick Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub. Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family
They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, it's me, your liver. You know, the organ that helps you recover every weekend after pizza, donuts, and all those drinks. When you have a headache, you take an aspirin. You have a stomach ache, you pop an acid. But where's the love for your best buddy, the liver? The least that you could do to help me stay healthy is take Active Liver from New Nordic. Active Liver tablets contain high-quality, all-natural ingredients like milk thistle, globe artichoke, and turmeric extracts, which are proven to keep me healthy and you feeling your best. Active Liver provides an easy daily detox and helps protect me all year long. So let me make you an offer you can't refuse. You take care of me with Active Liver, and I keep taking care of you. Capiche?
See for yourself why Active Liver is Scandinavia's #1 liver health supplement. You can find Active Liver at CVS and online at Amazon, Target.com, or directly from NewNordicUSA.com. Again, find it in stores at CVS or online at Amazon, Target.com, or NewNordicUSA.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
Now that we know the Kings have the 13th pick, I think, Drapes, in the first couple hours, we've pretty much answered all your draft questions, right?
We already know who's going to get picked, what they're going to do with the
everything.
Pick. We know it all.
Turns out there are still a few questions out there. So to help us fill in the blanks, well-known local multimedia sports personality, he's, among other things, the editor, hoopsobsession.com, the pride of Sac State, Bobby Gerald, joining us. How are you, Bobby?
I'm good, guys. How about you?
We're doing fine. Thank you so much for your time. Let's start with a name that a lot of the mocks have in the area where the Kings may pick, for what that's worth. Jared McCain. Is he maybe one of, if not the best shooter available in this draft? Do you see him as potentially a good fit for the Kings?
I like Jared McCain. He has some ties to Sacramento, and he definitely can shoot. Some of the athletic testing is early results are coming in from the combine, and I think one of the things that has been validated today is kind of what I saw, excuse me, on TV watching Duke games this year, is that he's not an elite level athlete. He'd be a middler as far as athleticism goes in the NBA. And so it's going to depend, I think, on, as Jeff Petrie used to say, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder. And, you look at guys like Jokic and Jalen Brunson, and you certainly wouldn't say that they're great athletes either. So it's about the skill. But certainly, you would love in a perfect world for there to be that combination of athleticism and skill. And I wouldn't be mad if it was Jared McCain as a Kings fan, because he really is a dynamic shot maker. And I think he has some potential. but I feel like that might be a little bit early for him. But time will tell. And these, a lot will come out of the combine as far as the athletic testing, what guys look like in the scrimmages, which will start tomorrow and then continue on Wednesday. And so it'll be interesting to see. It's such a wide open draft that I think that it really is going to be one of those situations where you're going to key in on some guy that you have the right feel for and a feel about, and maybe that'll end up being the right thing. And as you guys both know, Whitey being around Sacramento for so long, Drapes for being around the NBA for so long, it's an inexact science, man. We're talking about 19 and 20-year-old kids. And, people a few years ago, one of my successes was having Tyrese Halliburton ranked second. And, I got more than a few cross-eyed looks, through the draft process because people just didn't see that. So it depends, and I've missed on some just as bad. So that's just the way it goes. It's the nature of the business. You just hope that you're getting more right than you're getting wrong, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, Bobby, we're hearing so much, this is a weak draft and, no star players. Are there players, and if so, who are they, that could help the Kings immediately at 13?
Immediately, I think is tough, Drapes. I mean, immediately, I would think that, either one of the big guys, and let's assume, first of all, that the Kings are going to stay at 13 and draft someone there because, maybe the guy that's the apple of Monty McNair's eye is in the top 7, and maybe there's maneuvering to go get that person. I've been listening to you guys' discussion over the past hour and stuff about free agents and the wish list. And, I'm kind of the thinking right now that this isn't a great draft, but there are players, if you go back to the Anthony Bennett draft, when Anthony Bennett went number 1, and everyone universally pans that as a terrible draft. Well, Giannis was there at 15. Mm-hmm. So, they're in, like you guys brought up earlier, Jokic, in the second round. So they're not, what happens every year. It's definitely, something that you're going to have to hit right and hit it perfectly to get that player. But 3 players that I like better than consensus right now. One is Tyler Smith out of the G League, from G League Ignite. He's a kid. I think consensus is he'll go 20th. But he's 6'9" with a 7'1" wingspan, shot the ball right around the league average, as a 19-year-old in the G League. And I hold the G League in pretty high regard as a league these days. You're playing against grown men. I think that's repeatable. So I like Tyler Smith. Devin Carter out of Providence is a shooting guard that I really like. I think 13th is probably early for him, but maybe he's a guy you target in a trade down scenario. And I really think Zach Edey's going to be intriguing. I think JaVale McGee and Alex Lynn are both unrestricted free agents. And you could do a lot worse than having Zach Edey come in and be a backup for Domas, and hear me out on this one, because this is, I don't know about this one. Even in my own brain, I've been working this around. But if the Kings really are going to ever take that championship level step, in my opinion, there's going to have to be better defense at the rim than Domas being your 5 guy. So is there a path where Domas somehow can get minutes at the 4 spot? He obviously looks like a natural 5. He beasts as a natural 5. Would he be okay out there on the perimeter, guarding more guys on the perimeter than he presently has to do now? But I do think that, that the path for the Kings' greatest success is going to be somehow getting better defensively to the point where they have some sort of a stopper inside. Domas, and I'll let you guys get some questions in here. I'm very talkative. It's
we're good.
One thing you'll learn about me. But if you look at centers that had a defensive rating worse than their team defensive rating, it's a pretty short list, and Domas is on that list. The Kings don't get better with him out there on the floor as your last line of defense. But obviously, you got to have Domas. He's great, right? So there's got to be a way to keep him on the floor, but also have someone else possibly there. Or you might just, this might be about what you are. So if you have Fox and Sabonis, somehow you keep Monk. How can you get better? Well, I think you could get more efficient than Harrison Barnes probably, but where is that player? And going to get a big fish costs so much money that I really do think it's going to be one of those deals where, like Jay just said, you got to get a Duarte but hit on it. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of Obi Toppin. I think Obi Toppin, in New York was rightfully behind Julius Randle. In Indiana, he's rightfully behind Pascal Siakam. But I think if you took him out, put him as a first teamer, I think he'd more than hold his own. I think he could prove himself to be a starting four in the NBA. And so, maybe that's the kind of free agency signing and he'll be a restricted free agent, but that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at. I'm looking at a guy like that. I'm looking at a guy like Jordan Nwora from Toronto, who is just kind of, he's definitely an underdog, right? I mean, that's an underground deep cut, if you will. But Jordan Nwora has been getting better and better, and I think he's to the point now where he might be ready to step up, and he's someone certainly that's going to be a lot more affordable than trading for a Jeremy Grant, trading for a Zach LaVine, one of those kind of guys, or even Brandon Ingram.
Well, that's all the time we have. Carmichael Davis next. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You went there. I'm kidding. Bobby Gerald with us, editor, hoopsobsession.com. Bobby, you mentioned that, we're kind of assuming here that the Kings will make the pick. And I know we're here to talk about players, but how about it? How likely do you think they are? Or what's your best guess as to whether they're going to make the pick or package it for some other asset?
I would think making the pick is certainly in play. And again, from my standpoint, when I see that a guy like Tyler Smith might be available there, he's consensus probably 20th right now if you look across a bunch of different mock drafts. And like Drape said, that's all going to change in a week or so because everyone will have their favorite after the combine. But to me, Tyler Smith is a guy that fits the bill. He's young, someone you can grow with, someone who has potential, has a high ceiling to ultimately be a player in the NBA. And you can't just abandon the draft. I get the feeling that, hey, Sabonis, Fox, it's time now to try to maximize this team and get better that way. But you may have to do that through some sort of trades, through free agent signings. And I don't think you can just, abandon the draft. If you look at what's going on in the playoffs right now, it's a fair mix of drafted guys, free agent signings, trades, but Boston, Tatum and Brown, draft picks, Cleveland, Garland and Mobley, draft picks, OKC, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, draft picks, Luka, Cat and Ant-Man, draft picks, Jokic and Murray, draft picks. So that's 6 of the 8 teams right there that have built the majority of their team through the draft. And then you've got guys who were either, free agent signings or trades in Porzingis and Donovan Mitchell and SGA, Kyrie. So there's multiple ways you can get this done. And I think that's, what's going to be incumbent upon Monty McNair, Wes Wilcox, and the gang over there is to find a creative way to make it happen. And you got to re-sign Malik Monk. Monk, Sabonis, and Fox is a good place to start from. I would think it's raising up your backup point guard efficiency. In my opinion, it's having a dependable backup center who can give you a little more than Alex Len, who can give you a little more than JaVale. Who actually I thought JaVale was doing just fine, but he got abandoned. There was almost like he wasn't even on the team on the second half of the season. So I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but that's part of it too, as we all know, right? The coaches have to believe in these players as much as the front office does, or else it's not going to work.
Hey, Bobby, when you look at this draft, is there much separation from a top 5, top 6 versus, 13, 14, 15? You had mentioned, maybe if Monty likes somebody, maybe they trade up. We don't know. But is there a big drop off at any point in this draft, do you think?
I don't think it's, again, you hear people say it's the worst draft. I don't think there's a huge drop off, Drapes. I think that it's very possible that a guy you could get 13th might be as good as a guy you can get 26th or 27th. It's people get. I think they get lost in general. Now I'm talking about the general public in all these mock drafts and thinking that there's a huge difference sometimes between, the guy who was picked in a certain position versus someone else. But here's some food for thought. Trey Lyles went 12th in 2015, and the pick right after him was Devin Booker. So it's in 2016. Oh, this is a tough one. This is going to hurt some people. Marquise Chris goes 8th.
Ooh.
Thon Maker goes 10th. And Domas goes 11th. Right? So, you think about franchises' futures and just you can't miss on these guys, right? You can't have a Nick Stauskas. You can't draft Jimmer instead of Kawhi Leonard. You can't you just can't have these continued situations. And I do think that we've seen Monty McNair and Wes Wilcox have a pretty sharp eye for talent. I think Keegan was a hit for sure, and he could still be a lot better. And, Fox obviously, and those guys have proven to be good picks. So it'll be interesting to see, how it goes. And as the process, as we get more information, it's all about information collecting right now and then meeting some of these kids and getting a feel for, whether or not you think there's someone who fits as part of your team. The Spurs have famously said for years that one of the main things that they will never look past is, at the end of the day, are you a Spur? Are you worthy of wearing the Spurs uniform? And that's about character and all those types of situations. And you've got some guys who, Terrence Shannon Jr. right now is currently up on charges for something that happened in a nightclub where he allegedly groped a female. And maybe not, well, let's not even bring in the moral police and the judgment here or there about what that's going to be, but it could affect where a guy like Terrence Shannon goes, depending on, the outcome of that trial. And it is going to go to trial. So it's 19 and 20-year-olds, man. And I don't envy any of the GMs because I've been trying to do this as kind of an adult life study for over 20 years now. And it's difficult, man. It's not an easy thing to do. I mean, people have to realize you get that one pick and you've got to live with it, for years and years and years. And that's whether you get it right or you get it wrong. And careers are made and some careers are ruined, by the draft picks that are made.
Bobby Gerald with us from hoopobsession.com. Let's continue that game you were playing, Bob. You mentioned Marquise Chris goes 8th, and then you mentioned Thon Maker goes 10th, and then Domas goes 11th. Who went 2 slots after that, 13th? Kings ended up with a center. Do you remember who that was that went 2 slots after Domas that year with the 13th pick?
Where are you at in 16?
2016. Yeah, talking about, some picks have impacts on people's careers. It was Yorgos Papagiannis. Remember that was two spots after Domas. Yeah.
Right. And Pascal Siakam was on the board at that time. Karis LeVert was on the board at that time. I mean, it's not like there were a bunch of superheroes there. You got Ivica Zubac and some guys like that, but there definitely DeJounte Murray was out there. Yeah, he went 29th, 1 pick after Skal Labissiere.
Yeah, it's the nature of it. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about a player that I kind of like here, but what do you think of DeRon Holmes II?
I like DeRon. I think the question for DeRon is he a 5 or is he a 4? If he's a 5, I like him less. If he's a 4 and he can really guard guys out on the perimeter a little bit, then I like him a little bit more. But he really improved as a shooter this year and showed that he can make 3-point shots. The thing is, when I watch him, though, the way he moves a little bit more like a 5 to me. And so I think, it's one of those things where someone's going to view him, and if they think that he can be a Naz Reid type guy who can play 4 and you can play him alongside a 5 at the same time, then I think he's going to be pretty darn valuable and maybe even get up into lottery or mid first round projection. But if you were purely looking at him as a 5, I would say if you put him in that swimming pool with all the other centers, and that's a huge part of this, is knowing the landscape. You've got to understand the present landscape of the NBA. And there's a ton of 7-foot guys that are, Alex Lynn's and JaVale McGee's and all those guys that you're going to have to be better than, in order to keep on going and have a long, lengthy career in the NBA. I mean, it's tough. And we're not even talking about the pool of G League guys and the pool of overseas guys. There's a ton of guys. It's never been tougher to get yourself locked into the NBA as it is right now, in my opinion. I mean, it's past time for expansion.
Yeah. So much talent out there in the NBA and in the G League. Bobby, when you look at this offseason for Sacramento, does Monte McNair have to do something this offseason? One thing we've been talking about is maybe make some minor moves, but then swing for the bigger fish at the trade deadline. What do you think about this offseason for Monte McNair?
So just my own personal opinion is always like, let's use a betting analogy. If the game tonight, if the spread was 10 points, but in your mind, you thought it was really, or let's say the game is a pick 'em, but in your mind, you think one team is 10 points better than the other team. Go ahead and make that bet. If 10 points is a big difference, right? So, but if it was 1 point, the game's a pick 'em and you think it's only a 1 point difference, then maybe you just need to chill, right? And so that's kind of where I'm at with Monty and this year. It's like, if something so obvious hits you like the way the Sabonis thing hit Monty, I mean, obviously he had to feel pretty darn confident about that to trade Tyrese Halliburton, that this was going to work out. So I think, if he has that kind of feeling that this is what's going to really make this team better, then you go with it. If not, then I think you lay back in the weeds and you go after your Obi Toppins and your Jordan Wars, and you draft a guy that you think is better than the 13th pick, like a Tyler Smith or somebody like that. I think that's a way to improve your team, make a gradual improvement. As Jerry West said, sometimes, the best addition is subtraction. So, if you could take all those starters minutes where HB, God bless him. He'd be a fantastic bench guy, in my opinion. He'd be a top tier guy off the bench, but he's probably past his prime as a starter right now. So if you can replace some of that HB minutes with something more efficient and better, then you do it. But I'm never a let's just make a move for the sake of making a move guy. I think that's what gets teams in trouble.
Bobby, we appreciate it very much. We've been talking about this for weeks. We got many, many weeks to go. Now we got a couple more names to add to the conversation. Thanks to you, Tyler Smith and Jordan Wara. I hadn't expected we'd be talking about him. So thank you. We appreciate it. Very interesting. Enjoy the rest of this pre-draft season and the workouts, and we'll talk to you again soon.
I'll be over here obsessing. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks very much. Tyler Smith.
Okay.
Big fella.
Yeah, new guy on the radar.
Yeah, G Leaguer. All right. Yeah, that's and I had said it wrong. My apologies. Hoopobsession.com.
Yep.
I'd added an S where there shouldn't have been one. Hoopobsession.com. Our thanks to Bobby Gerald. When we come right back, whatever happened to home court advantage in the NBA playoffs? Next with the Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office. It's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this, because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Welcome to the May Springtime Sales Event at Kia of Vacaville, where we're celebrating the arrival of a new season with unbeatable lease options on our 2024 lineup. As May blossoms with possibilities, it's the perfect time to immerse yourself in the exhilarating world of Kia, highlighted by the luxurious and versatile Kia Telluride. Throughout the May Springtime Sales Event, Kia of Vacaville is thrilled to showcase our top models with irresistible lease offers. Experience the thrill of driving the all-new Kia Sportage, seamlessly blending captivating design with dynamic performance. Dive into the impressive fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel designed to extend your adventures. Embrace the essence of spring with our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, specifically tailored for those who prioritize efficiency without compromising on style. With the EV9 in stock, Kia of Vacaville stands as your premier destination for electric excitement. Model availability, lease options, and features may vary. Please visit Kia of Vacaville for more details.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. A Delta breeze will cool us down to the low to mid 50s by morning. Tomorrow will be a sunny day with highs near 90. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's been said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to a nice, cool summer, it's so true. Right now, get a complete air conditioner tune-up for just $59. Bonnie. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Kevin Lewis with National Garage Door, reminding you that in Sacramento, National Garage Door is the king of garage doors. We service, sell, and install garage doors and openers. Call us today for your basketball special. A new 16x7 Rainer garage door with insulation and a belt drive opener for only $24.49 installed. Give us a call today, 916-638-4554.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Across Sacramento, air conditioners are firing up, and with them, power bills are going through the roof.
Are you ready for your utility bill to soar even higher next month? Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners save money because going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. We call it the Aztec Paycheck. How big of a paycheck? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much money you'll save every month. Find out how much you'll save now at yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable. Stop paying the power company and start paying yourself. Looking for a deal? Here's a timely offer from Aztec Solar. You can own a solar electric system for just $99.95. Cash price after incentives. Don't waste another dollar. Visit yourpowersavings.com and keep your money where it belongs, in your pocket. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
My good friends, Dr. Jack Friedlander and Dr. Pash in Roseville and in San Francisco are offering not only confidence, not only security, but also the ability, if you ain't insecure, to go from the roster to the all-star team. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about UpsizeMatters.com. Time after time, vote after vote, circumference, or as we call it, girth, is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. And Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash can give you a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation with immediate results. It's non-surgical. It's virtually pain-free, safe, effective, long-lasting, semi-permanent, and doctor-performed. For more information, go to UpsizeMatters.com. Go to UpsizeMatters.com. Make that change. Make the all-star team. Get your girth on.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Playoff action already underway. No Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs. They're trailing the Celtics 37-30, 3 seconds. No, I'm sorry, 3/10 of a second left in the first quarter. Kyle Draper back with us. Drapes, good to have you back home.
Thank you.
Speaking of home, what has happened to home court advantage in the NBA playoffs? What is going on?
I have no idea. It doesn't matter, right? You look at the Denver-Minnesota series. Road team has won every single game that series.
Look at this series.
Look at this one, right?
Cleveland wins game 2 on Boston, goes back home, and Boston thumps them.
And Boston was the best home team in the league this regular season. And so, no, you're right, man. I have no, it's interesting. I was watching some hockey yesterday, the Boston Bruins taking on the Florida Panthers. Bruins are at home. The coach had the team stay in a hotel to minimize distractions at home.
What?
Think about that. So maybe there's more distractions at home. Family duties, kids, waking you up at 6 a.m. or so you can't really focus. Maybe that's what's going on.
The Celtics, this year, great team, right?
Yes.
Last year, really good team, fell apart in the postseason. Year before that, went to the finals.
Yep.
So the last 3 years, we know that they've been an excellent team. Do you know what their record is in the playoffs the last 3 years?
I actually do, but go ahead. I'll let you deliver the info.
14-14, which is, that can't be right, but it is.
It is. And that's traditionally one of the toughest places to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is about it. I mean, you look at Denver, a tough place to play. They lost the first 2 to Minnesota. Minneapolis, a tough place to play. I don't know if but when you talk to players, they actually enjoy playing on the road more than at home. They like that us against the world mentality. When you're playing at home, maybe you have that false sense of security, all right, we're in front of, look at the Kings this year.
Yep.
Struggling at home. Their home record wasn't anything to write home about. And so you work 82 games to get home court advantage, and then bam, it could be gone just like that.
I don't know what it is, but something has to have to do with the 3-point shots. I was just looking at some numbers. I haven't figured this all out, and maybe I'm wrong, but there's some link here. Game 2, Denver and Minnesota. That was the world champs at home. They lost the first game, so they're going to put forth a great effort, right? They were outshot from the three-point line in that game, 39% to 30%. And Minnesota won the game. Game 3, they go back to Minnesota. At that point, I don't know about you, but I admit I was saying, well, I like Denver. I know you're not a big Denver guy, but I like Denver, but they just can't play with these guys.
Right.
Game 3, Denver comes out and makes 48% of their threes. Minnesota makes 30%. Denver wins. It's like, if I'm going to make a lot more of my threes than you, it doesn't matter if you're the home team or I'm the home team or we're playing on Jupiter.
Right.
You know, game 4 yesterday, Denver shot 45% from the 3-point line.
On the road.
Yeah.
It's a make-miss league, as Dr. I mean, that's ultimately what it boils down to. And you would think the numbers would be opposite, though. You'd struggle shooting on the road.
Yes.
Like
game 2, the Cavs in Boston. Cavs, game 2, they shocked them 118 to 94. Cavaliers made 46% of their threes. Boston made 23%. So that seems to be a common theme here. And a lot of these home teams getting blown out in the playoffs is because the road team just everything they throw at the basket goes in.
Yeah.
And I do think that had something to do with the Kings the last 2 years, why their home court has not been as advantageous as you'd think.
Why though?
Because they shoot so many threes, and I think somehow
you would think you're more comfortable at home, though,
that's
right?
The other part, that doesn't seem to be true. I'd have to look
friendly rims,
you teams shoot better from the 3-point line at home. You'd think so, but in the playoffs they don't necessarily.
Yeah, it's Doc Rivers used to always say it's a make-miss league, and those numbers you just threw out there illustrates that, and so. I just find it interesting. You know, Richard Jefferson had a comment a couple of weeks ago that people got on him about where he said, you know, the team that loses game 1, it actually favors them going into game 2 because you make adjustments, you know, and, you know, we saw that in this series. You know, Cleveland lost game 1, came out game 2. Meanwhile, if you win game 1, you sort of feel, you know, a sense of security that, you know what, we got this, we're feeling good. And then the other team plays with more desperation.
How about this? Bob Meyer said this stat. You may know this one too. I only know it because I heard him say it on TV. Second half of playoff games this year, how many threes has Jason Tatum made?
Second half?
Yeah.
Playoffs?
Yeah. This year.
Jason Tatum, second half.
Yeah.
So they play 5 games and then
let me save you the trouble.
Hold on. 0?
It ain't happened.
Really?
He said that. I was like, that can't be true.
I was going to say like 7 or 8 or something like that.
Halftime of game 3. And he said, well, we'll see if he makes one in the second. He was 0 for 3 in the second.
Yeah. They blitzed him in that second. Yeah, that interesting.
Jason Tatum, he's the guy, right?
He is the guy. I'm watching him put on the show right now against the Cavs. That is shocking.
Yes.
That Jason Tatum hasn't hit a second half 3 yet.
And he's a guy, Jay and I were talking about this. You talk about legacies of players in the postseason. Yeah. He's like this close to being the face of the league, right? Yes. He wins a championship. It's like, well,
right.
There's no argument. You're the guy.
Right. Yeah. I'm looking at his numbers from the other day. 33 points, 2 of 8 from 3, 11 of 25. And the thing about Jason Tatum, because I've been watching him a lot this year, is he's sort of easing into games a little bit, letting the game come to him, being more of a facilitator. You know, when we watch Anthony Edwards going for the jugular right from the opening jump. I think that's what you're seeing from Jason Tatum. He sort of took his foot off the gas a little bit. He's going to chill and then try and take over and step up when needed, manage the game. But I will say, last game, and then I'm watching tonight as well, he has come out on fire. Last game, Saturday, in the first half, he had 18 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He's putting up numbers so far tonight as well as we watch him over here on our mini screens. And so I think he's learned a lesson like, you know what? No, I got to come out and be aggressive right from the jump.
That reminds me, we got to find out about how your last basketball game went. Because I think you knew last year you had a game that night. And you had said, my last game, I didn't let the game come to me. I'm going to do that tonight. And we didn't find out.
I got that for you. Kings. I could give you that smile. I got to look it up. It's been so long. You know what I mean? It has been a while. Yeah. I need to look and see if they posted my highlights.
Okay. All right. We'll find out first. Let's go to JR on Sacktown Sports. Hello, JR. What's up? You're on the drive, guys. Hey.
I'm sure Drapes had a single.
Well, I don't know. He's all over the place.
Come on,
First game, he was
JR.
excellent. Second game, he said he didn't play well, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, first game he didn't play well either. So what is this?
What are you talking about, man? I have 6 points? I was lighting it up.
6 points, and then you missed 2 free throws.
The first game, I made the free throws, big fella.
Oh, yeah.
I made
Okay.
the free throws, yes.
I thought you missed them on purpose so everyone could get crumble cookies in the audience.
That's all right, JR. Next time I see you, I'm not going to say hi to you.
I'm not going to compliment your beautiful blue blazer, then, big guy. I was going to say I blame the whole King season on Baby Rain because Fox played like crap when he got home because that baby was crying all night.
Oh, that's messed up. Leave Baby Rain alone.
I know she's a sweetheart, but I do think there was something to be said there with you think about Demonis and Fox. They had the babies at home, and I think you guys might have hit something on the head. They did not play well when they'd come back from a road trip. That first game, I don't know what the stats are, but they didn't seem like they ever could win that game when they got back.
No, you're right. Now, I'm not saying it's because of the, what's going on in the families, but the Detroit game was the first game back after road trip. I think Miami. There was a handful of them. You're right about that.
Yeah, and so and I don't know about the playoffs. I do like the idea of forcing the team to stay in a hotel, get them the heck out of the area, or not the area, but just keep them remote so that even a home game, it feels like an away game, so it all feels the same in their heads. I'm surprised more teams probably do that, and we don't even know they do that. Yeah. So that's a pretty smart little move right there. Yeah. Hey, real quick, Whitey.
Yeah.
When the Giants play the A's this year, it will be the last of the Bay Bridge series.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right.
And so, we're going to have the 80 series or whatever you want to call it. I know Carmichael Dave doesn't like me to call it the 80 because he feels like that's a SoCal term, but the highway which connects San Francisco and Sacramento will have to have their own little, maybe it'll be like a seal or something, or River Cat, something that they share in order to claim victory of who the better of the two teams is.
We'll have to get a chunk of concrete from somewhere in Vacaville and make a trophy out of it.
Well, as long as it's not Vallejo, then we're okay. Yeah, we don't want those people's part of their city. See ya.
See ya, JR. When we come right back, another example of how Denver's blueprint is it's just not one that you can replicate as much as you'd want to. The Drive guys, looks like, did you find your stats too from your last?
Yeah, I got my stats. I looked at my video and everything.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming up, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender. In the paint. Soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento. It's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up! And call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
For the ones who work hard to ensure their crew can always go the extra mile, and the ones who get in early so everyone can go home on time, there's Grainger, offering professional-grade supplies backed by product experts so you can quickly and easily find what you need. Plus, you can count on access to a committed team ready to go the extra mile for you. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save, because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
At T-Mobile, you can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, switch and keep your phone. We'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device credit service and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Well, some are comparing what's going on right now between the Celtics and the Cavs to what happened last year in the playoffs between the Warriors and the Kings.
Oh,
what's going on? We have Beams or Beamley saying that it's Jaylen Brown in a Sabonis situation. No stomp, though. And then Compio says Max Strus kicked Brown in the head. I don't know if that's true. I'm just there definitely was what I think a flagrant one got called on Brown, right?
Jaylen, yeah. He grabbed Strus's leg. Strus, they got tangled up. Strus was trying to step over Jaylen, dislodge himself, get away, and Jaylen grabbed his leg, and so stomp. Yeah, so
no stomping and no one was ejected.
Oh, Strus just knocked down a 3 at that.
Yeah.
How about that? Let's go Cavs.
Uh-huh. How about you? Have you been knocking down your threes? You said you're going to check your numbers for us.
Man, I'm still I have not hit a 3 yet this season, and last game was just terrible, man. I'm really struggling. I just got to play myself into shape. I got my stats right here. How about this, though? All right. Only 4 points.
That's okay. Man. You look at the overall floor game.
Right. 2 of 11.
Ooh.
I know. I told you I'm just trying. At least I can own up to my struggles.
Yes.
I'm open like that. 7 rebounds, though.
Wow.
That's a solid. Exactly. And only 1 turnover and 1 foul. And so they didn't track my assist for some reason. That was just last game. But I'm struggling, man. My game is not where it should be right now.
W?
No, we lost, man. We lost.
Oh, man.
I know. It's just, dude, I'm telling you, when you play this league, we lost 58-47. It's all about the best conditioned team. Whichever team, and these guys were more conditioned than us. Like, our guys got tired at the end of the game. And so it's frustrating. I'm looking at
were there more than 6 people this week or last week?
No, we had 7, I think. We had 7. But we're struggling right now, man. We are reeling. Like our first game, we scored 73 points.
Remember? Yeah.
We were on fire. But last game, 49. The game before that, 47. And so we got a game this Thursday. I'm gonna miss it. Actually, I'm not going to be able to make it. And so we'll see how the team fares without me. But yeah, man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Honestly, I thought you sent us a video, Jay and I, a video of you making a 3. That wasn't a 3. I remember you said
it was a 3.
I thought it was a 3.
No, they called it a deep 2.
Oh.
They called it, yeah. They said my foot was on the line on that.
The toe was behind the line.
I need to look at it again. They might have robbed me on that because they ruled it at the time a D2. And so, it was a transition. I stepped in.
Oh, yeah.
Bang, knocked it down, but they called it a D2.
Look nice.
Yeah, I'm not playing well right now, though, man. I got my season averages right here. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I don't even want to get into my shooting percentage.
Well, you brought it up.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm averaging 6.3 points per game.
Okay.
Not bad, but not Draper level. Not the level I'm used to. I got to play myself back into condition, man.
Mm-hmm. That's my team and scoring. What's the highest?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. Let me. I don't even know everybody's name on my team, man. I'm just.
Well, that's the problem.
Like, it is pick up ball. Yeah, exactly. And some of these guys are good, man. I give them credit. Some of them are good. This guy Tyler, he's had 16 last game. So I mean, it's all about conditioning, though. That's my biggest problem. I'm getting winded out there. I'm trying to play my way into game shape right now.
How about this? Are you having any fun? It's supposed to be fun, I think.
Yeah,
right?
It is. And the problem is I had the kids there watching me the other day.
Oh, that's
too.
right. I forgot about
I had my son and daughter.
Your son was excited about seeing
he was
you.
excited. And I did not do the team, my family proud that day. Only 4 points, man. I could get 4 points in my sleep, big fella. I was 2 of 11.
That's all right.
I mean, it's just I'm just off, man. It's okay though. It's okay. It'll get better. It'll get better. We still got a number of games. I'm not playing this week. In a couple weeks, we got a double header though. How about that?
What?
I know.
I hope you're in shape for that.
I don't think I will be.
Yeah.
Like what the heck's going on, man? Like why are we playing a double header? June 6th, we got a 6:00 and a 7:00 game. I know.
Man,
that's
load management.
I know that's seriously. I don't know what I'm gonna do, man, because your boy is laboring out there. Like it's hard. Like when you play pickup ball, guys give each other breaks. He's turned to the other guy. Don't run on this play. Don't take your time. Like when you're in the game situation, you got to sprint back and everything. I'm too old for that, man.
That didn't sound like a great idea. Back to back. One thing, but
like literally
in 2 hours.
Literally back to back.
Yeah.
That's all that is, fellas. That's you getting a couple of wins in a row.
I like how you think.
That's all that is.
That's true.
2-3 wins in a row. Get off the court. We're sending people home.
Yeah.
Well, the problem too is nobody want to sub out. Everybody, it's like, dude, if you're tired, come out. You're hurting the team. Like we got some guys that don't want to come out the game. Come out, get a couple, 2 minutes, and then go back in. And so we're gassed usually at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Teams getting offensive rebounds. It's frustrating, man. Frustrating.
Finger pointing? Has it begun?
Nah. We're still together.
Because you don't know the guys.
I know. You over there pass the ball. It's just we're still together as a team.
1 and 2?
1 and 2.
Oh, that's nothing, man.
That's nothing, right? Exactly. We're good. Mm-hmm. We're good. We're missing our point guard. That's the problem.
I thought you were the point guard.
No, remember I told you about the guy that was like, I told you guys.
Guy. Yeah.
This guy was like, trust me, if I run the point. Did I show this to you guys? I swear I shared this with you guys. One guy was, this is the mindset he has, and I don't want to diss him like that or anything like that. Let me see if I can pull it up. But basically, he said, quote,
you don't want to diss him, but you're going to read his text on the air.
I'm not. He dissing himself right here. He's like, I haven't been playing like myself, but these next couple of weeks, I'm going to work on it. If you guys allow me to run point, I will guarantee us wins, and not by a few points. We should be winning by 10 or more.
Ooh.
So this guy is saying, I guarantee we will win if you allow me to run the point. And I'm looking at him like, bro, come on.
Jalen Brunson over there.
I know. That's what he tried to be. I think it's because he's upset he's not getting a whole lot of shots. So this way, if he controls the ball, he could, control his shot attempts too. So,
all right.
It's a little frustrating right
now. That's all right. That's all part of the process.
And we're learning to get with each other. Like, I've never played with these guys. They don't know my game. I don't know their game. So it's a process here.
When we come back, we'll tell you who the Kings should pick. There's a guy that Jay and I like. I don't know where you are on him yet, but with all these names, if we have anything approaching a consensus, then clearly that's the guy the Kings should take. We'll tell you who when we come right back. Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
My father was a career United States Air Force pilot, and Memorial Day is a reminder of all he and so many others did for our country. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Right now at the annual Memorial Day sale, everything in the store is on sale. Everything. You'll save 10 to 25% on all living rooms, to sofas, to sectionals, to dining rooms, to bedrooms, to home offices, and so much more. Everything is on sale right now at Naturewood Home Furnishings Memorial Day sale. Whether you're looking to lighten the mood in your living room, brighten up your bedroom, or tighten up your home office, it's all available for you at savings from 10 to 25% at Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop the area's best selection of quality furniture at Naturewood Home Furnishing, off Highway 50 in Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
You've seen the specials on Amazon, Netflix, Showtime, and more. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
Babe, can I go with Steve and have a drink at the casino? And then she started to speak wife. She looked at him right in the face and she goes, you can do whatever you want. And his dumb goes, told you. I go, oh, no, it's a trap. It's a trap.
Steve Trevino, Saturday, June 1st, the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss an evening with Steve Trevino.
This time of year can mean only one thing: Jeeps, Jeeps, and more Jeeps. It's Jeep season at Lodi Jeep Superstore. Leonard Harrington here, and I can't wait to tell you about what we've got going on, because we're talking Jeeps and big savings too. Now you can get the 2024 Jeep Compass Sport 4x4 for only $26,999. That's right, just $26,999. And of course, it comes loaded with features like rear view camera, power tailgate, blind spot monitor, Bluetooth, 4-wheel drive, and much, much more for only $26,999.
More than 5 available with this offer. MSRP $27,495. Lodi CDJR discount $496. Net price $26,999. See dealer for details. Offer ends 5/31/24.
We're talking Jeeps. We're talking big savings too during the Jeep season, going on now at the Lodi Jeep Superstore, right off 99 in Kettleman, where we're open till 9 every night and Sundays after church.
Prices are better at the Low Price Center. Lodi Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Visit us at LodiCDJR.com.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Winter's gone, so there's no excuses for missing out on Sacramento's premier country festival, Country in the Park. It's this Friday and Saturday. Don't miss your chance to see
Brandon Gilbert, Dustin Letch, Jake Owen, Walker Hayes, Brian Kelly, Drew Baldridge, Brian Martin, Michael Ray,
Ingrid Andress, Priscilla Block,
Chase Matthew.
Tickets are only $46 per day. Buy your tickets now at CITPfest.com. That's CITPfest.com. Or take your chances at the gate. Brought to you by Junior Restaurant and Lounge, Gurnick Academy, and Fieldhouse American Sports Pub.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
No Donovan Mitchell for the Cavs tonight, so they getting blown out, Drapes?
Nah, we got a tight game
Oh!
here. Yep. Peyton Pritchard for 3. Nope. Cavs only down 2. 3 minutes to go in the second.
How about that?
I know, right? Max Strus has 15.
And we had a little, some kind of, things got a little chippy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Strus and Jaylen Brown. LeVert. Oh, that would have gave the Cavs the lead. But you know what they say when a star player goes down, an opportunity for somebody else to step up. So if I'm Strus, look at Jaylen Brown just trying to bully his way. If I'm Strus or somebody, I'm like, oh, Mitchell's out. More shots for me. Let's go. I'm going to get him up.
Boston still has that thing, don't they? And I don't know how this is going to work out. I would expect that they will win the championship this year, but we're seeing a little bit of it here. I think they still kind of get in their own way.
Yeah. I don't know whether they're not locked in or what, but they've been vulnerable. I mean, we saw it last series against the Heat, losing at home. We see it this series, lost at home as well. And you mentioned 14-14 over the last 3 postseasons at home. And so I think, if Denver comes out of the West, Denver is going to win the championship. I think,
really?
Yeah, I just think Denver is so sure of who they are. There's no doubt clutch situation, what they're going to do. Whereas the Celtics, they haven't been in a clutch game yet this playoffs, but they are not a clutch team.
No.
Like a lot of ISO ball, one-on-one, and they struggle in that.
People used to say, well, Marcus Smart's a good player, but he's not a good point guard. So it's like, and then they finally, we'll move on. And then, White has been a good point guard, but obviously it wasn't Marcus Smart's fault.
I mean, they got Drew Holiday now, too, and they still struggle late in games.
We'll get to the player that Jay and I like for the Kings to take. Before we do, though, you're talking about the Nuggets. We've talked about this. A lot of fans around here say, well, the Kings want to follow Denver's blueprint. And that would be great, but it's a blueprint that you can't follow because, as we've said, they got Jokic with the 40-something pick.
Yeah.
They just got so fortunate, good for them, but you can't replicate that. They got Porter because his back was so bad, they were able to get him at 14.
Down,
yeah. And how about this? Aaron Gordon is having a great season. Yep. Yeah. They got Aaron Gordon. Remember this trade? They got him from Orlando. And, a player of Aaron Gordon's quality now costs what? 4 draft picks, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what it costs.
Right.
Denver got Aaron Gordon and Gary Clark for Gary Harris, R.J. Hampton, and a first-round pick.
That's it.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Now that's how you build a championship.
Right. You swindle somebody.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the numbers. When Aaron Gordon was traded, he was only averaging 14.6 points. No, let me rephrase that. Yeah, 14.6 points. You're talking about a guy, though, that at one point, 17 points, 8 rebounds. Like, why was his value so low at that time?
I don't know. Maybe they weren't using him right.
Right.
You see him now, and I mean, sometimes he brings the ball up.
Yes. All-world defender at that, too. I mean, just everything he does helps the team win. And so how do you find those diamonds in the rough like that?
I don't know. Did you see the moment that he had last night talking about Jokic after the game? A lot of Nuggets fans.
I didn't see
well, they're talking to Aaron Gordon after the game, and then he's doing his press thing, and then Jokic walks up because he's next, and somebody asks Aaron Gordon, how can you be so selfless? And he says, how can I be selfless? Well, look at this. You've got 3-time MVP and he's selfless. That's how I learned it. And it's like, oh my goodness. I mean, it was a nice moment, but some Nuggets fans like, oh, that's why I love this team so
right? See, it's all kumbaya and like lovey-dovey and everything. I mean, they're in sync, man. They're like I said, they know who they are. And even though they lost the first 2 games, they still remain true to who they are, and they didn't panic. And so they're the favorites, in my opinion, to win it all.
You know what I forgot about him? We were watching the game, and my daughter, Lonnie, said, oh, yeah, Aaron Gordon, that's the guy whose Pitbull bit him in the face. Remember that? A few years ago?
I do, yeah.
It's Pitbull bit him in the
Who
face.
said that to you?
My daughter.
Your daughter remembered that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was,
I think it was around Christmas time, and he'd said he might have had a little too much eggnog or something. He was kind of bugging his dog, and his dog said, nope, we're not having that.
Yeah. What's interesting about Aaron
You remember
Gordon,
that, Jay?
he was the number 4 overall pick too.
Yeah.
And so
from Mitty, right? In San Jose.
Yeah. You're right. Archbishop Mitty in San Jose. And so the dude's always had, I think people forget how great he was in Orlando. He showed promise, and then he sort of revamped his game and became a great role player in Denver.
Here's injuries, right? In Orlando for the most part, huh?
Was it injuries?
I thought he had a few key injuries. Didn't he tear his knee up one year?
I think he did deal with injuries, and all I know is I know this isn't what you're saying, but the dunk contest with him and Zach LaVine were one of the greatest dunk contests ever.
Yeah. And he never won one, right?
Not officially.
Not officially, right? Yeah. Yeah, he played 58 games one year, Jay, 78, then 62. So maybe he was banged up a little bit.
Yeah. As I recall, they got him because, they had a pretty good team, and Jamal Murray was out. He tore up his knee. So they got Aaron Gordon because, we need a guy until Murray comes back. Then, of course, they're fortunate enough now they got both of them. And
then you got KCP, who's about to get paid this season. So
I thought they were done. I admit I was totally wrong.
They were down 0-2.
Yeah, because it looked like they just can't play with these guys.
Right. No, Minnesota looked like a juggernaut, right? They looked like a well-oiled machine. And now these last 2 games, people are now saying Rudy Gobert is unplayable and things like that. It's the first game, they dominated, and so
I think Jamal Murray being healthier is
yeah. Oh, that's. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Tatum, man, Tatum's on fire, man. Sorry, I'm watching this dude put up some big time numbers right now. I gotta see what he's doing out here because Tatum, what's he got? 28.
Do you want to know the guy that Jay and I believe Jay said this earlier?
23.
This guy's on my list too.
Yeah, who you got?
Think should take. He is 6'8".
Okay,
freshman from the University of Colorado. His brother plays in the NBA. Cody Williams. Is that right, Jay? You're on it? Yes.
My guy.
Yes.
So I'm hunting for.
According to your guy, Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah.
Shades of making an NBA comp. Not crazy about this. Jalen Rose.
What do you mean not crazy about that?
Jalen Rose, but
I'm flight starter.
Yeah, I love Jalen Rose, but I'm hoping he can be maybe a little more of a power forward. Dynamic finisher and a big playmaker with an impressive defensive toolkit. Huh? There you go.
That's what you needed. Defensive toolkit. His best role might be as a point forward.
Look at that.
All right. He can
Fluid
handle the
ball
route.
handler. Yeah. Although he's never really shot well from 3. There's hope from he shot 80% from the line. I guess that was in high school.
Yeah.
Using either hand to finish. Got touch from challenging angles. Yeah, I believe I saw somewhere his numbers on scoring on drives are really high.
Okay.
Analytics on when he takes the ball to the basket. Look out.
All right.
Score.
All right. This might be the guy, huh? Kevin O'Connor has him rated a 10th best prospect. So we'll see if he's there.
You want to hear the minuses?
Do we really? Sure. Go for it.
Well, O'Connor says below the rim leaper.
Ooh.
Without elite burst off the bounce. Let's see. Underwhelming three-point shooter despite having good mechanics. That's all right. We'll work on it. Jay and I'll get in there with him in the gym. Lacks dynamism, pulling up from mid-range too.
Dude, you're looking at a different one than I am. Yours was updated more recently than mine was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let me. Yours was updated yesterday. I need to refresh here.
Here's needs to get dramatically stronger. And I saw somewhere, I think it was Hollinger said he didn't like to really mix it up. Yeah. But he was hurt last year. That might be why he didn't really like to mix it up.
Darn, I'm frustrated about this, Whitey.
I'm sorry.
All right, there it is. All right, updated. Okay, I got the updated version. Cody Williams, 8th, right? You got him at 8th. All right.
Yeah.
All right, I just refreshed here. So,
looks like his brother. You can see the resemblance
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ian?
I guess I'm in. A Jalen Rose comparison. I liked his ability to handle the rock. I'm worried about the shooting situation.
We don't need him to shoot anyway.
Yeah, hold up.
Throw it to Keegan.
That was your biggest offseason need. And now you're telling me you want him to draft a non-shooter. I mean,
he's got good form.
That's true. Yeah, underwhelming three-point shooter despite having good mechanics.
Yes.
So, no, you know what? All these guys, man. You guys say Cody is your guy. I like a guy like Ron Holland from G League Ignite.
Dynamic. Yes.
Oh, you might not like him, though. Look at the shades of
Harrison Barnes. Wow.
But
theoretical Josh Jackson. What?
But look at the below that. Defensive stopper with the upside to be a downhill attack.
Got that dog
in him. On-ball defense. Explosive finisher at the basket.
Not a great shooter,
was
right?
Harrison ever an explosive finisher at the basket?
Dude, I'm just reading what Kevin O'Connor wrote.
Seventh grade, he was unstoppable.
He was definitely out of high school. He was a beast.
Man, yeah, this guy was a beast. Yeah, and Ron Holland thought, a lot of people thought he'd be a number 1 overall pick a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. And so he will still be 18 on draft day. So has big game upside, 2 gold medals with USA basketball.
Below average free throw shooter.
What does theoretical Josh Jackson mean?
I guess he could become the player Josh Jackson never did.
Never did, right?
No, because he never did. Josh Jackson was supposed to be good. I thought he was going to be good.
Yeah.
Stiff spot up shooter. That's the only thing on Holland is not a very good shooter. And
but he got that dog in him.
Yeah,
he got that dog in him, man. That has to be up there for me. That has to be one of the things that they get. Somebody with some dog in them.
Yeah. Well, you think you can get enough of that in the draft to satisfy that need?
No.
You guys have both talked a lot about that.
Nah, you still got to, whether trade or free agency. Because
your friend Jay says, and he might have been saying this because he knew it would irritate me. He was saying last week he would still get Patrick Beverly.
Even with what just happened, Jay?
Yeah. Hand him over.
What? I'm even almost out on Patrick Beverly.
He replaces JaVale McGee as the leader.
Man.
The veteran leadership here.
I'm not sure he means it, but
that dude went off the rails, though, man. I don't know. See, when we talked about this before I went on break, we need somebody that's crazy, but not that crazy. Mm-hmm. Like Bobby Portis has always been my guy.
Punching people?
But that's when he was young, man. That was young. Hey, and sometimes a fist fight in practice is okay. Not like Draymond sucker punch Jordan Poole, but you need somebody with some tenacity, some dog in them.
Mm-hmm. We'll tell you about the draft prospect who has now been medically cleared to play in the NBA.
Ooh,
big name.
My guy.
Big name. Prospect. Also, when we come back, we're going to set somebody up, maybe you, for some tickets to the Sacramento Autograph and Sports Cards Expo. So that is coming up, and we're right back here at Drive Guys on Sacktown Sports.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids jumping beans tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got great finds for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true? Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers in May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Those of you in the chat, we appreciate it. Just so you know, we have royalty in the chat right now. Sacramento royalty. Antonio Ray Harvey is in the chat. So welcome, Tony. Drapes is back today. People in the chat are talking about how the extent to which, I should say, they're letting him play tonight. But that's been going on for a while now.
Yeah. And I was just thinking as I was watching this Celtics-Cavs game, I guarantee if you took the officials and talked to them, no cameras, no microphones, nothing, they have no clue what they're doing out there right now. Like, the NBA has put them in a bad spot. Like, game to game is so bad, the physicality or lack thereof, like, even within the game, sometimes the touch fouls that are called, it's like they're just guessing out there. There's nothing uniform about what's happening out there. It's kind of disgusting to watch, man. As big of an NBA fan as I am, the officiating has been the story, I think, of this playoff. Sure, Jalen Brunson and Ant Edwards and everything, but the officiating has been so terrible this playoffs.
I think it puts the players in a really tough spot because if you complain about it to an extent, if you're having a bad game, it almost makes it sound like, oh, you can't handle the physicality.
Right. Exactly. Oh, you're soft or something like that. Yeah. And that's not, I mean, guys are getting whacked and there's no fouls, man. It's hard for me to watch right now.
Yeah.
And so think about this. You had the Sixers complaining about, the calls the Knicks were getting. We saw the 2-minute report where they said 3 calls in the final 30 seconds were wrong. The Pacers filed 78 calls, and through the first 2 games. I mean, and that's why I said, I don't think the officials have a clue what they're doing right now.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle said something that really resonated with us here because he said last week, he said small market teams deserve a fair shot.
Yeah.
And, you say that. Those of us in Sacramento are like,
yep.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying for 25 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was listening yesterday to the Timberwolves broadcast. Jim Peterson is the analyst, and he was talking about how physical is. He also said this, and I wanted to see what you'd think of this. I didn't think you'd appreciate this. This is Jim Peterson, of course. So he is, he's a Minnesota analyst, probably not the Nuggets, but he said he thinks Joker is more dominant than Shaq. And I thought, I'm going to have to mention that one to my buddy Draper.
I'm not going.
Because he said he played against Kareem. He played against Shaq. He said, Shaq was very dominant. But he says, I think Joker is more dominant than Shaquille O'Neal. Just wondering what you think of that.
Is Minnesota, and tell me this, Drapes, because you've got some time there.
Yep.
Does it sit high up in the elevation?
Yeah, they might like some of that kind of stuff. It's here's the thing about Shaq though, and Jay and Jim Peterson. Much respect. That's my guy. I love Jim. Look at the centers Shaq played against. the center nowadays, there aren't many great centers, good centers out there. I mean, you even look at a guy like, Bam Adebayo. He's really a power forward back when Shaq was playing, And so I think if Shaq played in today's era, he could average 40 points a game easily. There would be no stopping Shaquille O'Neal. Like, he would get to the line 15 to 20 times per game.
And make four.
But he would get there. And so I think Shaq, next to Will, probably the most dominant player ever.
Yeah, it depends on how you define it.
Right.
But in terms of, I guess, I know what Jim Peterson means. Jim Peterson, former Sacramento King, in terms of overall managing a game and doing it in so many different ways. Okay. And he has won 3 MVPs, but just in terms of sheer physical dominance, I've never seen anything like Shaquille.
No,
maybe Will did it. I don't know, but I've never seen anything like the way Shaq used to do it.
Right. And I think Shaq, he would dominate you physically. Like, I'm watching Joker last night. Did you see he had a dunk last night? Like, I was like, oh my God, he actually could dunk. He was running through the lane and had a one-handed dunk. Whereas Shaq would put you in the basket, literally. Like, he was looking to send a message. Joker can dominate the game, yes, but I don't know if he's a dominating force. If you know what I mean. Like, Shaq was a dominating force out there.
Somebody, and I forget who it was on Twitter, had a picture of that play, I believe it was, and they said, for every 100 likes I get, I will change the picture so it's higher.
Yeah.
You can do that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal. It's funny you just mentioned, if he played now, would he ever get the ball?
Yeah, that's true, right?
His coach said, give it to Penny.
And, hey, you know what? He might not even see the floor. He can't shoot threes.
Yeah.
Right.
Can't shoot threes, defending the pick and roll.
Right.
Or, young Shaq probably could have done that.
Yeah, young Shaq. Oh my gosh. He was a phenomenal athlete too. And so I think Shaq arguably could be viewed as one of the most underappreciated players of all time. Nobody ever talks about him top 10 or all-time greats. And I think Shaq should be right there too.
Probably overshadowed by Kobe.
Right? Yeah.
People look Shaq and Kobe but he had a couple finals MVP awards. To me, that's even more meaningful than winning the season MVP.
Yeah. The finals
MVP.
Yeah. So if I'm correct, Shaq won 3 of them though. That three-peat they had, I think he was the finals. And so that's the thing, when we talk about Kobe's greatness, and, I don't want to dive too deep into this, but Kobe wasn't always the best player on his team.
No.
When you talk about Michael Jordan, you talk about LeBron, Magic, like the Bird, they were undoubtedly always the best players on their team. You can't say that about Kobe, and it's no knock to him or anything. It just is what it is. Those first 3 titles, Shaq was the best player on that team.
I actually got to talk to Phil Jackson once because he was doing the rounds. He was promoting a book, so he was doing all the interviews. And I always looked at that team as like, Shaq is the guy and Kobe is fine player, but Shaq was better.
Yeah.
And, they didn't get along, and it seemed to me like Kobe was always never appreciated playing with Shaq. And I asked Phil Jackson that. Why didn't Kobe appreciate playing with the greatness that was Shaq? He said, I'm not sure that's true. And then you find out later that Kobe just felt like Shaq wasn't pushing himself. It felt like they could have won more championships together.
Greater,
Shaq got to a point where it was like, kind of let himself go.
Yeah, that's true. It's, and Shaq had so many interests outside of basketball. The movies, the records, the fashion, all of that, where Kobe at the time was singularly focused on being the greatest basketball player.
Yeah, and you're right. As you know, it was 3 years in a row there for Shaq.
Yeah.
We were talking about another big name prospect who was medically cleared to play in the NBA. Bronny James, medically cleared to be drafted by the NBA Fitness to Play panel, but he also he's declared for the draft, declared eligibility, but he also still has his college eligibility. So depending on who drafts him, he can always go back to college and maybe even enter the portal and leave USC. So a lot of options for Bronny.
Yeah, and I'm looking at some video Jonathan Givony of Draft Express put out. They got the draft combine going on. Bronny James crushed the 3-point shooting drill. 19 of 25.
Nice.
Today. Good for second place all day. And so, man, I think this kid, I'm not saying he's going to be a star or an all-star. I do think he is an NBA level player, though. I do think that.
He is expected to take part in the Combine's 5-on-5 scrimmages beginning tomorrow.
Okay. And we talked about this. I got to see him up close and personal. Went to a USC-UCLA game. Here's what I'll say about Bronny. His defensive instincts are tremendous. Like, really? Yeah, his defensive IQ, he can get after it. A good wingspan. He's really elite defensively, I think. I think offensively, what I saw from him is he wasn't aggressive at all. He played the offense, let other people shine, ran the play. And so I don't think we really at USC got to see the full Bronny James in action. Like, I would like to, he sort of resembled LeBron, facilitating. I want to see him take over, call his own number a little bit more. I didn't get to see that. He sort of was, playing the back seat of some of the other guys on the team.
So at the risk of overstating the obvious, he needs to stay in college, go somewhere else and play, right?
Yeah.
If the Lakers draft him and he goes, he's never going to play.
Right. Maybe he's a G League guy or something like that. And so, and a lot of people say about Bronny, well, even if basketball doesn't work out, he's fine. His dad's
sure.
But when you talk about your basketball career, you don't want it to end after what happened at USC 1 year. Like, go to Ohio State, go play another year, put up some numbers, have some fun. You don't have to rush to the NBA right now.
And still, at least to a degree, establish your own legacy separate from
who you
dad.
are. Like, because we don't know who he is as a player.
Right.
I know he was a McDonald's All-American and everything like that, but I would like to see him more on a bigger stage on the college game. Show me what he can do.
Ooh, speaking of big stages, Sacktown Sports has teamed up with our buddies from True Sports Cards and Collectibles to lace you up with family 4-packs to check out the Sacramento Autograph and Sports Cards Expo this weekend at the grounds in Roseville, May 17th, 18th, and 19th. Today's winner is also going to receive a Kevin Mitchell autograph ticket.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now. Let's, in honor of Kevin Mitchell, let's go for caller number 7.
I like it.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. That work with you, Jay?
Yeah, and you got to bare hand something.
Yeah, that's right. Good luck. We'll see you out at the expo. Be caller 7 right now. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. When we come right back, see if Jay and Drapes can identify the Kings' past draft pick from his pre-draft scouting report. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I tell everybody I know this is the greatest place ever to get yourself a new or pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Their dedication to their customers is just incredible. And if you're a business owner, well, you need to know that this is also a Mercedes commercial van sales and service center. That's right. Mercedes-Benz vans, they are rugged. They'll haul anything you can put in them. And best of all, buying a Mercedes Sprinter van for work qualifies you for very generous tax breaks. I mean, who doesn't love a tax break, right? Well, 2023 Sprinters are available at rates as low as 4.9% APR. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, I'm telling you, you got to see their beautiful new showroom also. It's where I got my EQS. And I tell everybody I know that if you're going to roll in a Mercedes-Benz, get it from my good friends in Stockton. It's just a short drive right off the 5, a half hour from Sac, right at the 8 Mile Road exit. So head there right now or go online at mbofstockton.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts report at a frosty 29 degrees. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl.
In a world where everybody and their mother makes a primed trim board, contractors have to ask one question. Do I know what's under the primer? Available at just about every lumber yard you can imagine. Vintage trim boards are made from lodgepole pine. That's the stuff telephone poles and railroad ties are made of. It's durable. It's straight. It's been doing the job for generations. Manufactured right here in the USA. Ask for it by name. VintageTrimboards.com.
What is Subcontractors United? It's a list of 3 pre-qualified and licensed contractors in over 40 trades to help with your home project needs. From cabinets to heating and air to landscapers and everything in between, Subcontractors United makes finding qualified contractors free and easy with no accounts to set up. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today and experience the joy of stress-free home improvement. Save time and money at subcontractorsunited.com.
Hi, everyone. It's Emron Pilati, host of the True Sports Card Show here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday at 10 a.m. Would you like a chance to meet Ricky Henderson, Dennis Rodman, Johnny Manziel, Randy Johnson, Frank Thomas, Vlad Guerrero Sr., Dave Stewart, and our favorite Malik Monk, and meet over 90 sports card dealers all in one weekend? This is your chance to do it on May 17th through the 19th at the Roseville Fairgrounds at the Sacramento Autograph Expo. You can get all the information about the show on our website at sacautograph.expo.com. That's sacautograph.expo.com.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
Kyle Draper says Shaquille O'Neal could be one of the most underrated superstars of all time.
Yes.
I would put Isaiah Thomas, the first one on that list as well.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, because he was great. He just played in an era where, well, he wasn't Magic and he wasn't Jordan and he wasn't Bird, but, you know, you get away from that era and you compare him to everyone else, like, man, that guy was good.
Yeah, I mean, he's what point guards are of today. Like, he could seamlessly, I think, fit in today's game. Mm-hmm. A scoring point guard that could take over games and also run a team.
Mm-hmm. We've been talking about players the Kings should draft. Found some more on me and Jay's guy, Cody Williams. I'm actually not sure where this is from. I apologize. Pro comparison. We saw that Kevin O'Connor compared him to Jalen Rose. This, for Cody Williams has pro comparison. Jaden McDaniels. Off-ball scoring efficient spot-up shooting. Excellent defensive tools. Suggest he'll fit easily with an established veteran core. Although you don't want a guy that's just going to come in and fit easily, do you? You want a guy who's going to get the ball and make things happen.
Well, I mean, if you're drafting that, yes. But then if you draft that and also make a trade or something like that, then I'm okay with it.
Somewhere,
as long as you're getting it somewhere.
He could go closer to top 5 if teams see longer-term upside tied to a 6'9" size, ball screen flashes, three-point range, and ability to guard multiple positions. Is it me or is it kind of crazy that you've got these guys that have played a whole season? I know they're very young, but now they go to these camps or the combine, not these camps. And, they're playing grab ass, going around the perimeter shooting. And then they got like some scrimmages, and that's going to hold so much weight.
Instead of all the
whole
tape.
season.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's sort of like the NFL, right? When you have the combine in the NFL.
I don't understand
all these
that.
measurements and Wonderlicks and all that. And no, what about what you saw all season long? This guy's been killing players, and now you're going to – no, you're right.
This guy caught 22 touchdown passes. Yeah, but look at his vertical
right.
here. Look, he botched the cone drill.
Right.
We can't take that guy. I don't understand that.
It's ridiculous, man. It's like and when you're an elite prospect, you're like, I don't need to do all this. Look at my tape, man. It's crazy.
So I was seeing some criticism of some of the players. I think Deron Holmes is one of them. At last report, he was not going to participate in the scrimmages. And it might actually have been Bobby Gerald saying, boy, if you're, unless you're a top 5 pick, you got to play in the scrimmages. But I could see if you're like, let's say you're like the 4th best point guard, whatever position, point guard, whatever you are.
Yeah.
And your agent says, all right, you're right now, nothing else changes. You're going to be slotted about, you'll get drafted somewhere around 14, 15, maybe as low as 20. And that's, if you scrimmage, that's probably not going to change because the guys ahead of you are thought of much better. And maybe they shouldn't be, but they are. But if you go in there and you don't play well, you could drop in the second round.
Right.
So just stay home.
Stay home, right? You do more harm than good.
Yeah,
It's not worth the risk. And so I just don't get it, man. To your point, we've been watching these guys go head to head, play the best competition at their level all season long, take over games, put up numbers, whatever. You want to let this combine, 2 or 3 to 4 day combine dictate? Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. All right. I have the pre-draft reports here for 5 guys that the Sacramento Kings, no tricks, Sacramento Kings took in the first round.
Okay.
I wanted to see you guys. We could take turns. I could just read it. You guys could see who's first to guess. We don't have to make it a competition if you don't want.
It's whatever Jay wants. I mean, I know I'll get them all right. So. Let's do it, Jay.
You want to take turns on them?
Sure, that's fine.
Sure. All right. Well, Jay goes first.
Go
okay?
for it.
First
fine.
one. All right. I got 1 through 5, so you just pick one.
And these are who they've drafted, not current roster people.
Correct.
Okay.
They're guys that were taken in the first round
By the Kings.
They all, there's like nobody here that, they drafted him, but they traded him. These guys all played at least somewhat for the Kings.
All right. I'll take number 5.
Number 5. Okay, here you go. An underrated athlete, despite lacking great explosiveness. He's extremely nimble and dexterous for such a huge man. His great hands and soft touch, along with his monstrous wingspan, 7'6", allow him to finish easily around the rim.
I got that one.
And if you need a hint, I'll give you the date.
7'6".
Yeah.
Long.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 2 in my mind. Just give me the date.
That was March 29th of 2010.
Ooh, that changed it.
Oh, I know exactly who this is.
Oh, that changed it because I was going somewhere else. 2010.
Give it up.
All right, I'll pass.
What do you got, Drapes?
Willie Cauley-Stein.
No, sir.
No, that's way after.
DeMarcus Cousins.
DMC?
That was Cousins?
Yeah.
I don't know
DeMarcus
why
Cousins.
I feel like DMC was a little earlier than 2010.
No, that's about right.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
When was Willie Cauley? Right
Read
after,
that one more time.
And I'm sorry, I have the other sources. I didn't write the source of this one.
No, no problem.
NBA DraftNet or something. Underrated athlete, despite lacking great explosiveness, he's extremely nimble and dexterous for such a huge man. His great hands and soft touch, along with his monstrous wingspan, allow him to finish easily around the rim.
You know where I was going with Spencer Hawes. That was the first one that popped in my mind.
Yeah, Spencer Hawes.
Which was a couple years later than that. I don't remember DeMarcus 2010.
Oh, which one you want, Drapes? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
2.
Still young, but he will need to add strength and fill out his wiry frame to hold up over time against the bigger guards in the league. He may struggle initially with bigger guards on defense and finishing through contact in the NBA. He has potential to be a lockdown defender, but sometimes he can be a bit too upright on the ball, which mitigates his lateral quickness. Now, this is just one, the scouting reports, there's a whole bunch of stuff on
Let me say that one more time.
Sure,
yeah. I got an idea.
Still young, and I can give you the date if you want.
Nah, because that might give it away.
Still young, but he will need to add strength and fill out his wiry frame to hold up over time against the bigger guards in the league. He may struggle initially with bigger guards on defense and finishing through contact in the NBA. He has potential to be a lockdown defender, but sometimes he can be a bit too upright on the ball, which mitigates his lateral quickness. This is from NBADraft.net.
That's De'Aaron Fox.
Bing, 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 bing. Yes, exactly right. May 17th, 2016. De'Aaron Fox. Yeah.
The guard gave it away for me. That's what I was like.
Yeah. So I got 1, 3, and 4 left, Jay.
1.
Playing ends. A talented point guard who can handle pressure, knock down open shots, and use his creativity to find teammates. Pretty average height and build for a point guard. Durability is still an issue, once known for his very good quickness.
Davion Mitchell.
Nope. Do you know that one?
Tyrese.
No. I'll give you the date. No, that's the wrong date. It can't be.
It can't be that.
Yeah.
Say that again. Read it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to hear it again.
A talented point guard who can handle pressure, knock down open shots, and use his creativity to find teammates. Pretty average height and build for a point guard. Durability is still an issue, once known for his very good quickness. And I can give you the date.
Okay, I got two more.
Yeah.
How far back you going?
Do you want the date yet, or you have a guess?
I'm gonna go.
I'm going. This is all Sacramento
All time.
Kings.
Yeah.
All time
This is
Sacramento.
all time.
Kings.
Sacramento.
Oh, I got
Yeah,
it. I got
yeah,
the
yeah.
answer. I got the
What do you
answer.
got, Jay?
Go ahead, Jay.
Jay.
It's your turn.
All right. All time. So we're going even back to 86 draft.
In theory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kenny Smith.
Nope.
I don't remember.
Bobby Hurley.
Nope.
Who?
This would be from June of 1999.
99.
Kings draft pick.
Mm-hmm. I think they took him seventh.
That's a little earlier than that. I thought
7th and 99.
Yeah. He was
Is that
Jay
Bobby
Will.
Jack? No?
Jay Will.
Will.
All right.
Jay Will.
Jason
99.
Williams.
I'm like, that's
I know,
Jay
I
Will,
was
right?
like, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Couple more drapes. You want
got
3 or 4?
3.
3. Very much a defensive-oriented player and a guy who really doesn't project into much of an offensive contributor. His work at the free throw line has shown some promise, but he projects mostly as a lob finisher, roll target, and garbage man in an NBA offense.
Dang. That's cold blood.
You got a date?
Yes. You want the date?
Sure.
This was November 17th of 2013. Obviously, the draft was not
November.
yeah.
The one that came to my mind when you said lob, and I think I'm going the right way.
It's Drape's turn first.
Yeah.
If you want, yeah.
There's two that pop in my mind.
Lob threat.
Yeah. Very much a defensive-oriented player. A guy who really doesn't project into much of an offensive contributor, which was true. His work at the free throw line has shown some promise, projects mostly as a lob finisher, roll target, garbage man in an NBA offense.
Willie Cauley?
Yeah!
All right. My boy, Willie Cauley Stein. Yeah, Jay.
Yeah. The other one is kind of tough.
Go ahead. Let's go.
All right. So this is a toss-up. Whoever gets it, if you guys want. And it's not from that long ago, okay? So it's not 80s and it's not 90s.
Okay.
I'll tell you that. This is a player who can straight up shoot the basketball. He had 44.2% of his 208 three-point attempts last year and for any team looking for a spot-up jump shooter that can hit from the outside, he is a prime draft prospect. He's got great mechanics and can hit off the bounce in catch-and-shoot situations and coming out of the pick and roll. He also has a strong basketball knowledge and can create for others. He has good ball handling skills and can make the right play when given the opportunity.
Oh, I got two.
Woo!
I got this one.
That's a player.
Whose turn is it?
It's a tie here.
Okay.
Jimmer Fredette.
No, good guess.
Nick Stauskas.
That's it.
Stauskas
for the
win. Nice.
I was like, it's one of those two.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Stauskas was highly rated coming out. Like people loved him coming from Michigan. I don't know why.
He could flat out shoot the basketball.
Shoot the rock.
Yeah. Woo. Well played. Well played. All right.
Those things are interesting, aren't they?
I know.
Because some of them hit and some of them like, what? What are you talking about?
I know. When we come back, take a look at today's surprise announcement from the National Football League. Drive Guys, Sacktown Sports.
De'Aaron Fox plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike with the left hand. The Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Arnold Law Firm.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. Delta breeze will cool us down to the low to mid 50s by morning. Tomorrow will be a sunny day with highs near 90. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your number one customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our number one customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage. But if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Do you hear that? That's your air conditioner working overtime this summer. But it's not just the temperature that's rising, so is your electric bill. Stop paying sky-higher rates for your electricity with a solar electric system from Aztec Solar. Finally, you can calculate your monthly savings when you go solar without sitting through a 2-hour in-home sales pitch. Visit yourpowersavings.com and Aztec Solar will text you how much you'll save each month by going solar. Since 1980, Aztec Solar has helped thousands of homeowners with solar pool heating, solar electricity, and backup energy storage. Going solar is like getting an extra paycheck every month. How much will your paycheck be? Find out at yourpowersavings.com. Yourpowersavings.com. Looking for a deal today? Now you can own a solar electric system for just $99.95 cash offer after incentives. Act now. This offer expires soon. Aztec Solar. Solar and only solar since 1980.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sacktown Sports.
We were just talking about Nick Stauskas, and I'm reminded here watching the Celtics and the Cavs play. Nick Stauskas played in the NBA Finals. Remember that? Nick Stauskas was with Boston. Oh, yeah. And he ended up playing a little bit of garbage minutes in their series loss to the Warriors. And they were talking about that on the telecast, I think, how he was done with basketball. You know, he got traded to Philly, and I think he was in the G League. And I think his wife said, no, you got to keep playing. And he actually made it back to the NBA Finals.
Could have got a ring, huh?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our boy Neemias Queta, as Beamer Beams or Beamley points out, just wasting away on Boston's bench, but they converted his contract. He's a full level contract. And he played some during the regular season for them, played some good minutes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nick Stauskas played with the Kings and the Sixers and the Nets a little bit, and Portland and Cleveland and
Lakers too, or
Miami, and not according to
not
the
Lakers,
Basketball Reference.
Okay. And
then wrap things up with the Celtics. And I mean, it's amazing. You're looking at Basketball Reference, this, checkered career, did average like 8.5 points a game for Philly, but that's the guy that, according to the scouts, as a player, can straight up shoot. Yeah.
Yeah. What was the
mechanics.
knock on him? He was a shooter that couldn't shoot, right? That's what people say. I mean, he's only 30 years old right now.
That's amazing. Yeah. He just, we focus so much on all the great success stories, and there's so many guys, right? Yeah. And some of them, if things had broken this way or that way, they would have been big stars, or they would have played, and things just didn't quite work out for them.
He lasted 1 season in Sacramento. Who was he traded for?
Was
Remember
that the Jason Thompson, all that stuff with Philly? And
traded by the Kings with Carl Landry, Thompson, first rounder. Oh, my gosh. Oh, shoot. All right, I'm on Basketball Reference. Check this out. You know how Basketball Reference, they give you all the details and they tell you what the pick turned into.
Yeah.
Traded by the Sacramento Kings with Carl Landry, Jason Thompson, a 2017 first-round pick, which turned into Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
And the thing is, if I remember correctly, people were saying at the time, Vlade he didn't have a lot of experience as GM, and I think the Kings, instead of trading those guys, they could have used a stretch provision.
Which
might have cost a little more money, but they wouldn't have had to throw in
a pick, right? Yes. So, and a first-round pick, Romeo Langford, to the Sixers for a Arturas Gudaitis, Luka Mitrovic, and a 2017 first-rounder, which turned into De'Aaron Fox.
I think I might have a little Arturas Gudaitis.
I know, right? Gotta get that checked out, right? Wow. That's unbelievable. Man.
Yeah.
All that from Nick Claxton and Carl Landry and Jason Thompson.
Nick Stauskas, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't
Nick Stauskas.
quite work out.
I'm telling you, man. The 30 for 30, that's they buried or whatever, like the Kings draft picks, like that needs to be, take me in the war room.
Mm-hmm.
Who made the decisions?
Mm-hmm.
Whose fault was it not drafting Luka Doncic? Like, I hear multiple stories from people, depending on whose camp you're a part of.
How long are the 30 for 30s? What are they? Are they an hour long or
hour? They got different versions, right?
Yeah. You're gonna need like a whole series of them for this.
Like you can do a 4-parter?
Because there's been so many of those.
Yeah.
But are they the only ones? Because the Warriors missed on a lot for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Pistons now, they've been in lottery forever, it seems like.
There's some teams. Has Atlanta drafted well?
Well, they traded for Trey Young, and
that was Luka.
They could add Luka. Yeah, exactly. Man.
Maybe there could be 30 for 30 where you just take the most egregious, the 5 worst or whatever. The Kings would probably
they'd be we got that. Yeah.
Darko may be the most
at number 2
embarrassing of all because it was LeBron, Darko,
D-Wade,
Bosh, Carmelo. Yeah, not in that order.
Nothing but a Hall of Famer, just Hall of Famers.
Hall of Famers all around him, and they picked Darko. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Man, I'm looking at the Kings draft picks over the years.
Oh, they're terrible, Drake. Ooh. They're nightmares, brother.
Yeah. You don't spend too much time doing that.
Like, they had a run where it was pretty bad.
Yeah, but what years? What are we looking?
2012 to 2016.
Thomas Robinson was one of the worst because they were going to take Dame.
Thomas Robinson.
And he fell in their laps.
Ben McLemore.
Yeah. Okay.
Nick Stauskas.
Jimmer Fredette was
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Bizarre.
Marquise Chris.
Ooh.
That's a 5-year.
Which was traded. Marquise Chris
was part of the trade. Yeah. But, man, that's a 5-year run.
They actually got Bogdanovich out of that.
Yes.
Oh, is that who they got out of that? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Man.
By the way, the big announcement today, we know that, in a couple days we get the whole NFL schedule, but the NFL regular season will start in September it's going to be September 5th. Kansas City and Baltimore. Baltimore at Chiefs. How about that? That's a good way to start the season.
That's a great matchup.
Yeah.
That's a huge matchup. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
You
looking forward to getting your Eagles schedule out?
I am actually. I am.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like, last year was a hiccup for us, a lot of internal strife, turmoil, if you will. And so after a great draft, after bringing on new coordinators, I think it's a fresh start. Wide receivers got paid, so they can't be upset about anything in Philly. And so I think this is a fresh start for us.
All right. Well, glad to have you back today.
Yes.
Glad you had a good time.
Yes.
We are back with you tomorrow. Stick around. We've got CBS Sports Radio coming up next for you here. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow. For Whitey Gleason, that's me. For Jay, for Kyle Draper.